runs against the Giants. One more than Sosa, and now one more all-time than Lou Gehrig. McGuire has 494. The Cardinals, though, did zilch after that. They lost 2-1. The Yankees play the second of the three-game series with the White Sox later tonight in Chicago. It'll be Andy Pettitte looking for his 8th win against Jim Parquet. Pettitte has really turned things around in his last couple of starts. Last night's Red Sox-Toronto game was not exactly a pitcher's delight. David Wells and Brett Saberhagen both got knocked around. This is Willie Green off of Saberhagen for a 2-run home run. Green's 7th of the season, and Toronto led it 7-4. But Boston came back with 6 runs in the 5th. Nomar Garciaparra singles to center. Darren Lewis scores, and the Red Sox won at 11-9. Butch Husky with 3 hits in his Red Sox debut. The Indians over the Tigers, big 14-5. John Wetland gets his 30th save. The Angels' 11-game losing streak is stopped. They win 10-5. The Royals over the Mariners. Griffey hit number 33, and Minnesota edging Oakland 3-2. That's it for us from the sports desk. Let's send it back now to Shay for the rest of the late Tuesday scores. I'm Deb Kaufman. See you later.
All right, Deb, thank you. Last night, Houston doubled up Colorado 6-3. Jose Lima wins his 14th of the year. Matt Williams had his 1,000th career run batted in as Arizona edged San Diego by a 4-3 score. And out in Los Angeles, Cincinnati comes away with a 5-3 win in extra innings. Chris Steins driving home 2 in the Reds' victory. That'll do it for this edition of Geico Mets on Deck. When we come back, it's time for Mets Baseball on Fox Sports Net, New York.
Okay, Louie, take it away.
Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out to the crowd. Yeah.
I don't care if I never get back, so let's root for the home team.
If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's
at the old ball game. I like that.
That's all I can sing, huh?
Hi, I have a question about buying stock. What's the difference between a market order and a limit order? Hello? Excuse me.
When you have an investment question, does your online brokerage have anybody there to answer it? We do.
It's not funny anymore.
Hello, Mr. Peterson. Hello. So, do you have any questions before we get started?
Yeah. Do you think a computer with 500 megahertz and 128 megs of RAM is enough?
Well, let's do a little investigating, shall we?
Looking for technology information? There's really only one place to go, cnet.com.
Do you like bran muffins?
Yeah.
Hey, great race, fellas! Listen, pound for pound, I think you're the finest athletes in the world. All right, guys, Jimmy. My nephew's bar mitzvah is coming up, and it really mean a lot if you would sign this for him.
Watch and wager on Saratoga simulcast right here at your very own Aqueduct Racetrack from July 28th through September 6th. For full track prices on Saratoga races, you've got to be here.
Are you ready to hit the road?
Ever wish the world were more solid under your feet? When the going gets tough, is a driver's seat the only seat for you?
Are you ready for something you've always wanted?
Then get to the Pontiac, hit the road, summer sell down, and lease the solid Grand Am for $229 a month for 36 months with zero due at lease signing. Tax, title, license, and registration are extra.
Hit the road for Pontiac driving excitement.
See your dealer today.
What are you waiting for?
Kenny Rogers began his career with the Texas Rangers as a relief pitcher. Finally converted to a full-time starter, he pitched a perfect game in 1994. He then signed with the Yankees after the 95 season. It was a 2-year roller coaster ride that featured some highlights, but was known more for its tough times. And Rogers left New York less than happy with his performance with the Bombers. Traded to Oakland, he regained his confidence, winning 16 games last season. 5 days ago, he was acquired by the Mets to bolster a playoff run. This afternoon, he makes his National League debut versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Rogers spent the first 6 years of his career pitching for Texas, so these weather conditions are not unfamiliar. Another hot and humid day in New York. Rogers will be taking the hill at Shea Stadium, making his Mets debut as today. In an early matinee, the Mets take on the Pittsburgh Pirates, wrapping up their 3-game set against the Bucks. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Matt Loughlin here on Fox Sports Net New York. Indeed, we have an early start, so we got the coffee going to get us through the early portions of this game. On the menu, a matchup featuring the Mets and the Pirates and that debut of Rogers. For more on that, upstairs we go to Howie Rose and Fran Healy.
All right, Matty, thank you. And it's a pretty accomplished pitcher the Mets are getting in Kenny Rogers. For example, 5 years ago today, he pitched a perfect game. In the more recent past, he's had some minor injuries, but over the last couple of months with the Oakland Athletics, he's been very, very effective, Fran.
Howie, he's been a successful pitcher throughout his career. He has over 100 wins. He pitched with the Texas Rangers. He was very successful. With the Oakland A's, he was successful. Now, he struggled here in New York, so once again, Kenny Rogers will be under the microscope pitching for the New York Mets. Now, with the Athletics, he was leading the Athletics to a chance to win the division in the Western Division of the American League. So Kenny Rogers will be under that big New York microscope this afternoon as he pitches against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And when he's right, he'll get a lot of those ground balls you just saw. He throws a pretty good sinking fastball that induces hitters to pound the ball into the ground. One guy who can pound the ball offensively for the Pittsburgh Pirates is Kevin Young. Now, Young hit a titanic home run against the Mets 2 nights ago, and in fact, throughout his career, he's been very difficult for the Mets to get out.
Yeah, he's become a complete ball player. Defensively, a solid ball player. Offensively, as Howie just mentioned, a home run in Monday night's ball game. He has 2 hits in this series so far. Both hits extra bases. In fact, in last night's ball game, Young hit the ball the other way, picking up a double. He also had a stolen base in last night's ball game. So Kevin Young leading the Pirates in most offensive departments this year.
So it'll be Young and the Pirates against the Mets in the rubber game of a 3-game series here at Shea Stadium. Todd Ritchie will do the pitching for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we'll have more from Shea right after these messages.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Coors Light, frost brewed for that refreshing taste. Tap the Rockies. By The Wiz, your ticket to entertainment. By TWA, adding new planes and new destinations in 1999. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, every day.
TV Guy here with some summer tips. Lose 5 pounds, use sunblock, and get to your Toyota dealer pronto. You won't find a better time to get it all with a low $199 a month lease on Tacoma. Nobody builds a more powerful compact V6, by the way. Hey, more horsepower, more truck, less moolah? Who says you can't have it all? So get to your Toyota dealer now. Ooh, just do it without kicking sand on me, please.
New state-of-the-art planes. They're at the heart of the new TWA. That's why we're renewing our fleet, adding 1 new plane every 10 days this year. And 125 more are on the way. It's the largest aircraft order in our 75-year history. And the most significant sign yet of our commitment to New York's aviators, who choose us for over 770 flights a day to more than 90 destinations worldwide. 1 new plane every 10 days, only from TWA.
The Wiz will give a free HD TV to the first caller to name a Jets quarterback.
What's so funny?
Hey, that's mine.
Get the new AudioVox digital phone, only $99. And with Bell Atlantic Mobile, get 200 minutes every month, only $29.99. Get wireless at The Wiz.
Okay, we have our caller. Scott Zolak is right.
Zolak? Who's that?
For the best and most reliable wireless network, get Bell Atlantic Mobile at The Wiz.
Investors who expect value love Waterhouse Web Broker, where you can trade up to 5,000 shares for a low flat rate of only $12 for all equity orders, market or limit, listed or NASDAQ. You'll also receive free real-time quotes and charts, free online investment information, including S&P stock reports, Zacks earnings estimates, and Morningstar Mutual Fund performance data. In addition, you automatically receive a free asset management account, all for just $12 per trade. So visit one of our more than 160 branch offices nationwide, or call this number now. You'll also receive our free Investor's Guide to Online Investing. Waterhouse Securities, where investors who expect value feel right at home.
Running Monday night.
Back at Shea Stadium, the concession stand busy. The Mets getting ready to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The first pitch coming up in just a moment. Kenny Rogers will be making his National League debut this afternoon, but it is not his first start in New York. He recently spent 2 years with the New York Yankees. It didn't look good from the outside, but according to Rogers, it wasn't as bad as advertised.
It wasn't that bad, you know. People, I mean, I got to be on a World Series team, and I think for the first year, I was really happy with it and really proud of it. Most people didn't think the same, but for me, that's something I can't control. But that's all a player can do is what he feels is his best, and I did that, and I never had any doubts about that. And in the second year, I was basically just there. Didn't pitch very much at all, but I just came off surgery that off season, and which probably the rest helped me more than anything. You know, letting my arm sit and heal up. So for me, coming back, to me, it's a good opportunity. And I really, when I was in Oakland, I kind of missed the atmosphere because New York is only one place that can bring this kind of atmosphere to the ball game. And even though it might be a little tougher in some ways, but it also drives you in some ways too. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, clearly some unfinished business for Rogers to take care of. These fans are hoping he picks up his first win in a Mets uniform. The first pitch is coming up right after this.
Coors Light! Coors Light! Thanks to Coors Light, I can put out the hottest fire. Like the fires from nachos with jalapenos. Because when a mean jalapeno hits, even the biggest man will cry. But with Coors Light, no fire stands a chance, because it's frost-proof to refresh like no other beer. That's why real macho men drink Coors Light, La Bala de Plata. Easy now, easy. Big guys don't cry. Here's your Coors Light. Coors Light! Coors Light!
Yeah, hi. I'm thinking about buying a large block of major building corporation, and what I'd like to know is what's the size of the market right now? Take your time. Yep.
When you have an investment question, does your online brokerage have anybody there to answer it? We do.
I'm still here.
How does Fox Sports News get up-to-the-minute coverage in excruciating detail from all over the country at once? Well, option one, get it from our own regional networks who telecast over 4,000 live events a year.
Option two, clone me.
He put the biscuit in the basket. From way down bad.
The horrific consequences of which we as simple human beings could not foresee.
That young lady is Dolores Pickles Lee, and she was one of the performers in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League during World War II, which was glamorized in the movie A League of Their Own. How about that now? Throwing to two separate catchers, 2 balls in one hand.
I've never seen that before.
You couldn't do that, could you?
I couldn't throw one and hit the target. She hit the target with 2.
Our umpire lineups for today's game are brought to you by ClickandSettle.com, where you can resolve your legal disputes online to avoid costs from getting out of line. C.B. Buckner will handle the balls and strikes with Randy Marsh at first base, Joe West at second, Angel Hernandez, the umpire, at third. And the question then becomes, which umps are staying and which umps are going? Because between the American and National Leagues, 22 of those who resigned apparently will not be welcomed back. No names yet. Here are the names, though, on the Pittsburgh Pirate lineup card, filled out by Gene Lamont. Adrian Brown will be in right field rather than Brant Brown today. Abraham Nunez, Brian Giles, Kevin Young, Ed Sprague, Warren Morris, they've all been in the lineup the last couple of nights. Freddie Garcia will play left field. Al Martin will sit against the left-hander with Joe Oliver behind the plate and Todd Ritchie on the mound. But the pitcher we'll focus on this afternoon, making his Mets debut, Fran, Kenny Rogers.
Well, Kenny Rogers, the story here this afternoon for the Mets, and Rogers was 5-3 in 19 starts with Oakland this year, but that chapter is closed, and number 73 opens up a new chapter here at Shea Stadium, and a very important chapter. He throws that two-seamer and four-seam fastball. He needs ground balls to be successful.
And a strike to Adrian Brown, 0-1. Adrian Brown got into last night's game late as a defensive replacement. Had 3 hits in his last 17 at-bats. Ventura on the grass at third, suspicious of the bunt possibility. Rogers misses 1-1.
And Kenny Rogers also features that curveball. He'll throw a straight change. Over 100 wins in his career.
Breaking ball looped to right. Cedeno over towards the line to make the catch.
Well, defensively, and ground ball pitchers need good defense. He's got good defense. Olerud, Alfonso Ordonez, and Ventura in the infield. Agbayani, McRae, and Cedeno in the outfield. Pratt behind the plate. 22 starts behind the plate for Todd Pratt.
And Todd went over the hitters with Kenny Rogers on the Mets bench a couple of nights ago. They were pouring through some scouting reports, but more for Rogers' benefit than anything. Nunez, first ball hitting, rolls it to short. Ordonez throws him out, 2 men away.
And that's the ground ball we talked about. Kenny Rogers, a ground ball pitcher. In fact, he's allowed only 8 home runs in 119 innings with the Oakland A's, so it's tough to lift Kenny Rogers.
And he's going to throw his own game this afternoon. You always talk, Fran, about pitchers basically calling their games anyway, but Todd Pratt was especially mindful of that, given that he doesn't really know Rogers either.
On the backdoor slider to righty, says the scouting report. Good sinker.
Strike on the outside corner to Brian Giles.
Yeah, in a situation like this, you go over the hitters, and Todd Pratt talked about Kenny Rogers' repertoire, but it's up to Kenny Rogers. He makes a decision when to throw it and what to throw. He's got a lot of experience, and he has, as we mentioned earlier, over 100 wins.
Upstairs with a fastball. The left-handers have actually hit Rogers a little bit better than the right-handers this year. Left-hand batters at 308 against Kenny. The righties 283. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
That's a knee buckler right there. Brian Giles had the knees buckle on that hook. Watch the knees. Giles, a good major league hitter, and they just collapse. Everything collapsed on that curveball.
So it'll be a 1-2 pitch to Brian Giles. And the breaking ball low.
Giles has scored 17 runs and hit 5 homers in the last 15 ball games. Picked up a couple doubles to left field in his ball game, or I should say in this series. Pitches that were out over the plate.
And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Another breaking ball. So the count full to Brian Giles, who, although was in the American League with Kenny Rogers, not really hit against him. He's 0 for 1 against him, but basically didn't play for Cleveland against left-hand pitching. Here, Giles is playing every day. And the curveball in there for a call. Whoa. Ball 4?
Not bad.
Where was that? I apologize, but boy, take another look at this.
C.B. Buckner said it was too high. I'm sure that umpires can be fooled, just like a pitcher, just like a hitter. Anybody on the field can be fooled, and here's a good pitch.
Where is it?
Look at Giles. The legs collapsed again. He was ready. I think Giles felt it was strike 3. Look at Pratt was going one way, Giles the other. And you see Kenny Rogers going off. Outstanding curveball in the strike zone. It was called a ball.
So a fastball upstairs to Brian Young. 1 ball, no strikes. That's what I get for playing umpire.
It happens to everybody. More so to you, though, Howie, because you were umpiring here years ago.
I'm auditioning, you know. There could be some openings. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Saw that sinker, and Kevin Young swung right over the top.
Brian Giles thankful to draw that walk. Mets are deep and straight away against Kevin Young, who has good power. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good changeup. Kenny Rogers pulling the string on Kevin Young. Now, we saw the Mets go inside and get Kevin Young in last night's ball game with the fastball almost off the plate inside. He dives into the pitch.
Short lead for Giles. Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. A 12-10 start here at Shea Stadium this afternoon. A good idea because it gives the camp kids a chance to get here and see the whole game. Used to be when they started 1:40, or even in years prior to that when they started at 2 o'clock. The camp kids had to leave about the 6th or 7th inning. Now they could see the whole ball game. Nothing doing at first base. Every once in a while, a kid would try and beat the system, hide under the seat, and take the bus home, and bad news. Parents will lock the doors on you. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and that'll mean an automatic start for the base runner, Brian Giles. One of the criticisms of Rogers over the years, particularly with the Yankees, was that he would tend to nibble rather than attack hitters. Here it'll be a payoff pitch with the runner going. On the way, and it's lined into right center. Hustling over is McCray, but on his way to third is Giles. So the Pirates have runners at the corners in somewhat improbable style when you consider that it looked like Rogers had frozen Giles for a called third strike. Instead, it was ruled ball 4. And then on a payoff pitch, Kevin Young lines one to right center.
Well, when scouts look at hitters, they want to know, does the ball explode off the bat? Watch his ball explode off Kevin Young's bat. It was a line shot in the center field, and it did explode.
It blew our tape machine to pieces.
It certainly did. And you could see Kevin Young, or you couldn't see Kevin Young dive into the ball.
So now it's Ed Sprague doing that Mickey Tettleton impression, with runners at the corners and 2 out. Grounded to the hole. Ordonez to second. And the side retired.
Kenny Rogers is going to like that. He's got to love it. Going in the hole, making the catch and the throw. And Rogers and the Mets are out of it here in the first.
Over there and I'll take a picture of you.
The incredible power of Duracell Ultra.
That's lovely, Jimmy. That's lovely. Wait a minute. By the statue.
Cameras get faster flashes. Up to 100 more pictures.
That's it. Lovely. Let yourself go.
Duracell Ultra, with a concentrated power force to give more life to your high-tech devices.
Oh, yes. Work it. Work it. Yeah.
Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
Hello, Mr. Peterson. Hello. So, do you have any questions before we get started?
Yeah. Do you think a computer with 500 megahertz and 128 megs of RAM is enough?
Well, let's do a little investigating, shall we?
Looking for technology information? There's really only one place to go. CNET.com.
You like RAM muffins? Yeah.
It's here. The GMC Summer Convoy. 2 million tons of professional-grade trucks, designed better than they need to be. Pickups, SUVs, and family vans. And on select 1999 models, some of the best values of the year. So come in now. This is one convoy you don't want passing you by. The GMC Summer Convoy. Tonight's next game is brought to you by the Claridge Casino Hotel. Smaller, friendlier, and so much more. Appearing July 19th through August 1st, Frank Gorshin, Buddy Greco, and Leslie Ann.
Mets will take their hats against Todd Ritchie here in the first inning. The Mets lineup for today, presented by Bobby Valentine. Gives Ricky Henderson the day off, so Cedeno in the leadoff spot. Olerud back in the lineup after sitting last night. Brian McCray also starting after having sat out the last couple. Todd Pratt picking up the outs of this afternoon as Cedeno takes a strike from 27-year-old Todd Ritchie. Ritchie out of the Minnesota Twins organization, who pitched in Minnesota the last 2 years, signed here in Pittsburgh, or with the Pirates anyway, as a free agent. He's been used as a starter most of this season, whereas he was used out of the bullpen by Tom Kelly in Minnesota.
And the Mets should be aware when they're on the bases because he's thrown 21 wild pitches.
Line to center, Giles makes the catch.
Ritchie has thrown 21 wild pitches over the last 3 years.
Batting second, number 13,
Second baseman, Eduardo Alfonzo.
So Cedeno back to the bench as Edgardo Alfonzo steps in.
See the 4.01 ERA in 17 starts for the right-hander, 62 strikeouts in 107 and 2/3 innings.
0-1 to Fonzie. Alfonzo, a couple of more hits in last night's game. He's had 10 for his last 20. His highest single-season average was 2 points lower than where it stands today. A couple of years ago, he hit .315 for the year. Now he's at .317. And as we've talked about the last couple of nights, producing runs out of the two-hole. Testament to how Ricky Henderson, and when he's led off, Roger Cedeno, have shown a propensity for getting on base. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Alfonzo. Foul back 2-2. Kenny Rogers was introduced at his press conference a couple of days ago. He was talking about what a pleasure it's going to be to pitch to the Mets infield. He specifically mentioned Ordonez, and he knew about Robin Ventura, of course, from the American League. And he said, and I hear that second baseman, Alfonzo, right? He's pretty good? Well, he's pretty good, all right. He hits one deep to left field. How do you like that, Kenny Rogers? He'll help you with the bat, too. 1-0 Mets.
Alfonzo has shaken it up, baby, here at Shea Stadium. Alfonzo hitting a home run over the left field wall. And for the second baseman, as you look at it again, his 15th home run of the season. Richie challenging Alfonzo with that high fastball, and 15 home runs for the second baseman with the Mets.
John Olerud takes the strike, so Kenny Rogers, you know who he is now. Breaking ball to Olerud. No balls, 2 strikes. John's average down to .301 now. He's had 2 hits and 12 trips on the homestand, which concludes today. Fastball misses inside. The Mets will go to Chicago and play the Cubs over the weekend. And then on to Milwaukee.
Olerud, with that good eye, is tied for second in the National League with 84 walks.
And that eye enabled him to hold off on the changeup by Richie. It's 2-2. So the Mets strike first on home run number 15 by Alfonzo. Fouled away, still 2-2. Olerud did not get into last night's game, which was the first time this year the Mets played a game that Olerud, in some fashion or other, was not a part of. And the 2-2 on the way. In there for a call, strike 3. First strikeout for Richie, 2 men away as he slips a fastball on the inside corner.
And defensively for the Pirates, at the corners, they have 15 errors by Kevin Young, and Ed Sprague has 21. Morris at second, Nunez at short. You got Garcia, Giles, and Adrian Brown in right field. Giles with 7 outfield assists leads the team. Joe Oliver behind the plate. And by the way, Benson is not pitching. Richie's pitching.
And the Mets are glad to know that.
Oh, Benson was unbelievable last night, throwing strikes, getting ahead of the Mets.
1-0 to Ventura. And that catches the inside corner. Same pitch he just threw John Olerud.
Benson looked like he could have pitched 20 innings last night. In fact, when the final out was caught, didn't look like he wanted to leave the mound.
Bouncing ball foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, when you think about it, a number of people talked about it last night. We discussed it very briefly. Chris Benson is proving to be what Paul Wilson was supposed to have been had injuries not derailed Wilson's career. Similarities are obvious as they were both drafted first overall in the nation, but when you look at Benson as you did a moment ago, just facially, boy, he looks like Tommy Glavine. 2-2 to Ventura.
Glavine about 6 feet tall. Benson 6'4".
Yeah, just facially now.
I'll tell you, it looks like he has the same demeanor on the mound, very confident. relax. Has it laughing.
Full count now to Ventura. Robin 2 hits, including a home run last night. Batting cleanup today with Mike Piazza getting the afternoon off. And the payoff pitch. Fly ball, deep right field. Adrian Brown to the wall. That's a gunner. Number 20 for Robin Ventura. The Mets are leading by a score of 2-0.
And RBI number 78 for the Met third baseman. 20 home runs. T. Rogers said he was well aware of Robin Ventura's ability from the American League. Richie is also. You see that fastball a little bit above the belt, and Ventura got the head of the bat out there and hits it a long way over the right field wall. Watch the ball jump off his bat. So Robin Ventura, Richie knew it was gone. Usually you see those pitchers jerk their head to watch it. Ricky said, just give me another ball.
Huge foul by Benny Agbayani, 1-1. So Ventura now at 78 RBIs. He's had 2 100 RBI seasons, actually one of exactly 100. And then 3 years ago, he drove in 105. Agbayani rips one foul. It's 1-2. Taking it out on the cameras. Benny hitless in 4 trips last night. His average ducking under 300 now at 298. Lays off the breaking ball. It's 2-2. So the Mets flexing some muscle here in the first inning of this rubber game of a 3-game series. Foul the other way. Still 2-2.
Yeah, the Mets coming out this afternoon like their talents were insulted last night by the big right-hander Chris Benson.
If that's the case, Benson's going to be the Don Rickles of the National League for a while. He was that good. Nice hop for Nunez, and the side retired. But in the first inning, the Mets use the long ball. Alfonso and Ventura go deep, and at the end of one, 2-0, New York.
The pickup truck, the international symbol of rugged independence. In the Nissan Frontier Crew Cab, a man can go wherever his wandering spirit takes him. He can bring everything he needs, and he can do whatever he darn well pleases. Yes, the Frontier sure says a lot about a man. And his wife, and his 3 little girls. The new Nissan Frontier Crew Cab.
I've been eating breakfast at McDonald's for years, and you know, they still find ways to surprise me. McDonald's introduces 3 exciting new bagel sandwiches. The delicious steak, egg, and cheese, hearty ham and cheese, or zesty Spanish omelet. They're baked fresh every day. So come see how McDonald's makes breakfast more irresistible.
The Whiz Summer of Fun is back. Get up to 8 free tickets to the Mets or Yankees with select purchases, now and all summer long. The fun is back, only at the Whiz.
Are you ready to hit the beach? Today you can order an extra large, extra thick Mets beach towel for only $19.99, but you better hurry because supplies are limited. To order your Mets beach towel, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX. And call right now because operators are standing by.
And when you get the beach towel, you go over there, lay down, get some sun.
A 3-hour tour. I don't know. There's something about that shot. Takes you back a few years. By the way, Dave Iori, cameraman for us here on Fox Sports Net in New York, wants everybody to know that his sister and brother-in-law, Nancy and Joe Fideli, just became proud parents of Amanda Lee Fideli. So congratulations, Nancy and Joe and Dave. Second inning, Warren Morris. First ball hitting right to Ordonez. One down.
Well, those 2 runs coming out of the chute will certainly relax a Kenny Rogers. And no matter how much experience and no matter how many wins you have in the major leagues, you're going to be anxious in a situation like this. Not only is Kenny Rogers thrown onto the Mets ball club, a team that is chasing the Braves, but let's face it, New York, he's back in New York. He had an unsuccessful period in New York with the Yankees, and he would like to prove some people wrong.
Now, one thing that's going to help, talk about the defense that the Mets exhibit on the infield here. How's this for a statistic that jumps out at you? Rogers has given up 9 unearned runs this year. That, of course, all coming while pitching for the Oakland A's. You know, the Mets as a team, and this is the Mets' 103rd game of the year, as a team, the Mets have allowed only 13 unearned runs. 2 balls, 1 strike to Freddie Garcia. Garcia has been a versatile part of this Pirate club. Ordonez, a big part of that Met infield, along with Edgardo Alfonso. Terrific double play combination. And then there's Ventura at third. 2 away. So of the 5 outs recorded by Rogers so far, 4 of them have come on the ground.
Good move with that hand. It looked like that ball took a tricky hop. Not a bad tricky hop, just a tricky hop. And move that glove a little bit to his right.
So you call that a playful hop?
Yeah.
Robbins got a sense of humor.
That was a good shot of that ball moving down there. And Ventura making the adjustment with the glove.
Change up for a strike to Joe Oliver. 0-1.
Saw that ball right into his glove. Sunglasses and all.
Fouled away. Advantage Rogers. No balls, 2 strikes. You wonder why 73? I mean, who wears 73? Well, he wore 37 most of his career. That number's been retired here in honor of Casey Stengel. Couldn't wear it with the Yankees either. At 17 there. This time he decided to just flip-flop the digits.
Yeah, he's not going back to 17. Not the number he wore with the Yankees.
He wants to get as far away from that experience as possible, although he did admit, talking to Matt Loughlin, there's unfinished business.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a guy like that,
he just doesn't want to be stigmatized as not being able to pitch in New York.
Well, he's getting a second opportunity right here with the Mets. And a little bit of added pressure for the left-hander.
And the 2-2 pitch on the way to Oliver. Slowly hit. Rogers takes care of it himself. So they're doing just what he wants them to do. Pound it into the ground. And the defense does the rest. This time, though, Rogers helps himself. Middle of the second, 2-0, New York.
Some say I'm laid back. But when I see a crowd of thirsty fans, I am Beer Man. Delivering frost-brewed Coors Light faster than the cold of the Rockies.
Hey, Beer Man.
Rising to any occasion to quench even the greatest beer thirst. Beer Man is on the case. How you doing?
Hey, Beer Man.
Drink that.
Beer Man, you the man. But that's my date.
Oh, just, keeping it cool for you, my brother. Coors Light! Coors Light!
Why are you talking to the Beer Man?
Coors Light!
You've got a key to your house. You've got a key to your car. Well, now you've got a key to the pump. Speed Pass for mobile. It's your personal key to getting in and out of the station fast. Just wave it at the pump, gas up, and go. To get your free Speed Pass, call now, toll free. Mobile Speed Pass is linked to a major credit card or check card you already have. Over 2 million people are already getting gas faster with Mobile Speed Pass, the fastest way to get gas.
The Lincoln Summer of Luxury. The hottest Lincoln deal of the year. Now lease Lincoln Town Car, the ultimate summer getaway for 6 for $4.99 a month with 0 security deposit and only $9.99 down. Or heat up the road with a 275 horsepower Lincoln Continental and special lease deals. Seats are limited, so hurry to your Lincoln dealer now to lease your new town car for $4.99 a month with only $9.99 down. And make your summer getaway.
Hey, kids, improve your skills at the New York Mets Instructional Baseball Camp, sponsored by Xerox. Mets players and coaches will make special appearances, so for more information, call 888-318-METS.
But it's a great opportunity for kids to get out there and learn from people that really know the game in depth. You got the players, you got the coaches, you get scouts, very good instructors at those camps.
Brian McRae had a real advantage growing up in a baseball home. And he lifts one to left field on the first pitch. And Garcia makes the catch to retire our pregame show co-host, Brian McRae, muscling in on Matt Loughlin.
Batting seventh, number 7, catcher Todd Pratt.
But Brian seemed pretty comfortable in that pregame role. Now Todd Pratt. Boy, how tough is it to feel comfortable when you're a catcher who plays as sparingly as Todd has lately?
Well, he's done a good job, though. He's been able to stay sharp. The only problem is swinging that bat. Tough to stay sharp when you don't play. And when you're behind Mike Piazza, you're way behind. You're not going to play very often. If he's healthy, Mike Piazza's bat's going to be in the lineup, unless he's given a day off like today.
When you were backing up, did you feel you needed to know a couple of days in advance when you were going to start?
Well, not really. Of course, back then, they might tell you if they thought about it, but you just come to the ballpark. You got to be ready to play. And you never, in your mind, tell yourself, "Well, I'm just going to be a backup." You got to tell yourself, "Look, I got to be ready to play in case the opportunity presents itself to play more than one day." But you're not comfortable catching, throwing, swinging the bat. No matter what you do, you got to have game conditions to keep that rhythm.
Which of the skills erodes most quickly when you play so sparingly? The hitting, the throwing?
The hitting, without a doubt. You can trick them with the throwing, you can trick them with the catching, but the hitting, I mean, if you're not out there, first off, you go out there, you got to be able to calm yourself down when you're a hitter. It's not that easy to play every 3 weeks, one day, and be relaxed as a hitter.
Well, Pratt making the most of this at-bat so far. He's run the count full.
And no matter what Todd Pratt does today, he should be relaxed, because even if he hits 3 home runs, there's a real good chance he's not playing Friday night.
Payoff pitch to Pratt. Downstairs, he draws a 1-out walk. And that'll bring up Ray Ordonez. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets is prohibited. Ray Ordonez had just 2 hits on this homestand. His average has dropped over 40 points now over this last 3.5 weeks. Ray now at 255 for the year as he takes ball 1 from Todd Ritchie. Ordonez was hit for late in last night's game by Luis Lopez. And the fastball, 1-1.
A guy like Ray Ordonez, we talked about it, when he's swinging the bat in a decent fashion, he's hitting the ball to the right side. And you want to really, I'm sure Bobby Valentine would love to keep him in the lineup, so you'd like to see him get that average up, be more consistent with the bat. You saw the play made to end the first inning for Kenny Rogers. The Mets need his glove out there, although Luis Lopez does a fine job defensively.
Bobby Valentine was saying recently the guy who has suffered most in terms of playing time and staying sharp, even though Bobby tries to get everybody in, has been Luis Lopez.
Yeah.
One to Ordonez, lifted foul.
Plus, I think for a manager, as you go along and you're in a pennant race, it becomes more and more difficult to utilize all the players the way Bobby Valentine would like to utilize his players. You like it when you're in a pennant race, you want to keep your best players in the lineup. Mickey Brantley talking to Benny Agbayani.
And the 1-2 to Ordonez going away.
It almost gets to the point when Ordonez is struggling that he has to tell himself to get jammed with that pitch inside. Wait long enough where you can hit the ball the other way. If you commit yourself too soon, you're going to have trouble handling the ball from the middle of the plate out.
2-2 delivery, rolled to second. Morris to Nunez to Young, a double play. So Ordonez grounds into a 4-6-3 to end the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk, and nobody left. 2 in the books at Shea. 2 on the board for the Mets.
Do you have the body you've always desired? Well, to get it is easy, and right now is the time. Introducing Valley Sports Club. State-of-the-art fitness centers with locations throughout Manhattan. Get the body you've always wanted and change your life. It's easy to get started. Take advantage of our no-sweat pricing. Just make your first monthly payment at the time you join. You'll look great and you'll feel great. Change your life. Join Valley Sports Club today. Call 800-34-VALLEY now.
Hey, sports fans, the Coors Light Silver Bullet 6 begins with New York Mets baseball on Fox Sports Net New York. You can win in the Silver Bullet 6 when a New York player hits a Coors Light Silver Bullet blast. That means if any Met hits a home run in the 6th inning, a name will be drawn and awarded dinner for 2 at participating Coors restaurants. To win, send a postcard with your name, address, and daytime phone number. Mets baseball on Fox Sports Net New York. A cold Coors Light and a great dinner. Coors Light. Tap the Rockies.
How does Fox Sports News get up-to-the-minute coverage in excruciating detail from all over the country at once? Well, option 1, get it from our own regional networks who telecast over 4,000 live events a year.
Option 2, clone me.
He put the biscuit in the basket from way out down bad.
The horrific consequences of which we as simple human beings could not foresee.
This is a happy anniversary for Kenny Rogers. 5 years ago today, he pitched a perfect game against the Angels, almost losing it in the ninth.
Center field looper coming hard is Greer. He dives. He makes the catch. Rusty Greer in center field. There's one out. Looper to center. Rusty Greer. He makes the catch. A perfect game.
I don't know about you. I'm getting tired of talking about everybody else's perfect games and no-hitters. About time the Mets had one of their own. Mets organization has never had, at the major league level, of course, a regular season no-hitter or perfect game.
Well, the pitchers are trained here, and then they go out and pitch one for another team.
Must be. 1-0 to Todd Ritchie. Fly ball, short right field. Cedeno there. One man away. Of course, 30 years ago, the close call here at Shea Stadium against the Chicago Cubs when Tom Seaver came within 2 outs of a perfect game right in the heat of the pennant race. Probably the most memorable night I ever spent in this ballpark, apart from the postseason games.
He was one of the top 5 pitchers in the history of the game. I mean, Tom Seaver pitched for a ball club that didn't score a whole lot of runs. He told me, I was surprised, but he said that one of the good things about being traded away from the Mets was he was able to accumulate 300 wins. He didn't think he would have done it with the Mets.
Ball 1 to Adrian Brown. Brown, playing right field today, flew out to right field his first time up. That's bounced foul, ball and a strike. Rogers is eligible for free agency at the end of this season. Because he was traded from the Yankees to the A's in the midst of a multi-year deal, he had the contractual right to demand the trade at the end of last year, which he did not do, instead opting for free agency at the end of this season. That's low, 2-1. So how well he pitches down the stretch might determine whether or not this is a case of a rent-a-player or someone who might stick around a couple of years. 3 balls, 1 strike now on Adrian Brown.
Well, when a team is in the heat of a battle for the pennant, they are usually able to go out and rent a player, help their cause.
Full count now. Part of Rogers' determination here is to Forget about what happened with the Yankees and make sure people realize he can pitch in the big town. That's a foul ball, so no play at first base.
Let's be serious about it. He really would like to show George Steinbrenner that George was wrong. They didn't have a great relationship, and Kenny Rogers would like to go out and show him that he can win in New York, and it was no big deal.
He has a 2-0 lead here, pitching with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Of course, the home uniforms, whatever they look like, have been very favorable to Kenny over the last couple of years. He's won 16 straight decisions at home.
And he would also like to go out and just show the Yankees they were wrong. And I'm sure that if you asked him about it, he'd say it's no big deal.
Ball 4, the second walk issued by Rogers. 1 out for Abraham Nunez, and really all Kenny says that he's trying to do right now is maintain his focus and do what he needs to do to be successful.
The main focus is probably going to be to relax and to just stay with my game plan that's worked for me since the last 2 years. If I get out of my game plan, that's when I probably will have problems by trying to do more than I'm capable of doing, just like with any other player, any other position, whatever. Not to try and do things I'm not capable of doing. Like I'm not a guy that looks for strikeouts. I look for ground balls quick, early in the count, hopefully. I'll stay with that philosophy, especially with the infield we have here, and see what works out.
0-1 to Abraham Nunez. Rogers, by the way, will throw over when there's a base runner about as often as anyone in the major leagues. It's ironic that Livan Hernandez, before being traded from the Marlins to the Giants, was mentioned as a possibility coming here, because he throws over about the same amount.
Once again, Rogers going to first base. If you're a catcher, you like the idea. Trying to keep that runner close. Give the catcher an opportunity to throw him out if he does try and steal. You know, a lot of times when you're behind the plate, signs come from the dugout today when you tell the pitcher to throw over.
The hat trick.
They also have the option themselves to throw over to first base.
Bobby knows the routine. He had him in Texas. Bruce Benedict relayed the signs. Todd Pratt does the same. Rogers hits the outside corner, 0-2.
He'd be great for a catcher because he just threw over to first base a number of times, and then he did the slide step going home. You're not going to get a jump off Kenny Rogers.
Bruce Benedict, the former Major League catcher.
That's going to be tough to steal off Rogers with that slide step. Bruce Benedict, you see Todd Pratt looking into the dugout, getting signs from Bruce Benedict whether or not to throw over, whether or not to pitch out.
Breaking ball got him. First strikeout for Kenny Rogers. 2 men away.
Who's going to steal against Kenny Rogers when he throws over to first base a lot and then gets the ball to the catcher in a hurry? Good breaking ball. You got Nunez way out in that front foot. Watch him commit himself too soon. Hands collapse, there's nothing you can do. Once your hands come forward and you're still waiting for the ball to get to the plate, you're not going to do anything with the bat.
So now with 2 out, Rogers will face Brian Giles, who took a 3-2 curveball. Rogers thought he had him struck out. Todd Pratt thought he was struck out. Brian Giles was awarded first base by C.B. Buckner. Outside, 1-0. It's with a 2-0 lead on solo home runs by Alfonso and Ventura in the first inning. Rogers has walked 2, struck out 1. 2 balls, no strikes.
See Rogers pitching off the right side of the rubber. Some left-handers like to go all the way over to the left side. You come at a left-hander almost from behind him. Once again, Rogers going to first base.
towards the right field corner, and that is a foul ball.
Well, this Giles, we talked about the quickness of his bat the other night, and once again, opening up and getting the head of the bat out there in a hurry to turn this pitch and pull it down the right field line. Watch the quickness of his body and that bat come through the hitting zone. Boom. Giles with 21 home runs this year and 66 RBIs, batting over 300.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Fly to center. McRae in a couple of steps, and the side retired. A 2-out walk, nothing more, issued by Rogers in the 3rd. Still 2-0, New York.
Don't you worry, little guys. I'll find you a happy home. Hey, Bearman, before you take this frost brewed Coors Light, one of my little babies, I'll have to ask you a few questions. Huh? How often do you clean your home? Wanted a beer. Of course you do. Do you have a good job? I'm a surgeon, brain surgeon. I won't be happy till all these beers have a good home. Bearman, there's a roof over your head.
Oh, skylight.
Oh.
Hold on. Whoa, not bad. All right, here.
Having fun yet? Get to the Wiz and get tickets to the Light Path Long Island Classic featuring 78 senior PGA Tour players free with select purchases or at Ticketmaster at the Wiz. To order tickets direct, call 516-674-GOLF.
Man, they are so uptight.
Oh. Oh. Oh, baby.
Hey, Mr. Dinky's busy.
Hey, Dinky, I quit.
Oh, no.
Mr. Dinky, I'm not quitting. That was a joke, sir.
They are the legends who define the class and excitement of the game. They are the very essence of what professional golf is all about. They are the players of the Light Path Long Island Classic. Join Chi-Chi Rodriguez, Lee Trevino, Bob Duvall, and returning after his dramatic one-stroke win, champion Gary Player at the challenging Meadowbrook Club. The Light Path Long Island Classic. The excitement begins next week. Order tickets by phone today and don't miss.
Kenny Rogers, the hitter, and that certainly is a rarity, as Rogers has played his entire career in the American League. Takes a strike, nothing, and 1. What with interleague play, he's 0 for 3 this year with that swing. You can understand why. 0 for 10 over the course of his career. Although in high school, he was an outfielder, and he supposedly swung a pretty good bat, but I guess so did everybody who gets to the major league. Contact there, but foul.
Well, most of the pitchers, I'm sure, were stars on their high school and college teams, especially in high school. If you're not pitching, you're playing another position. And most of these pitchers were probably the best hitters on their high school team.
So, as a hitter, Rogers is a pretty good pitcher. Down on strikes, second strikeout for Todd Ritchie. Let's check in with Matt Loughlin. Matty?
All right, Howie, Jean Visage is here. She's one of 14 members of the former All-American Girls Professional League, honored by the Mets before the game. Jean, a native of Mount Vernon, played for the Rockford Peaches. We saw the movie A League of Their Own. How accurate a portrayal was it of your times in the league?
I'd say about 90% Matt, 10% was Hollywood, but for the most part it was very factual, and I like the fact that they showed our competitive spirit and the fact that we were very good ball players.
An interesting note about Jean, she was a left-handed fielding first baseman, a right-handed fielding outfielder. How did that work out?
Well, I played a little bit of first base and a lot of outfield, and it just worked out that I threw one way in the infield and the other way in the outfield. I was always ambidextrous.
Well, Jean grew up, as I said, in Mount Vernon. During her formative years, she played ball with Ralph Franca, another Mount Vernon native, of course, the former Brooklyn Dodger great. And Jean's a big-time Mets fan, fellas.
Edgardo Alfonso takes ball 1. You know, Matty, I'd love to find out if that character portrayed by John Lovitz, the scout, came anything close to a performance given by any of the scouts trying to recruit those women back in the 1940s.
All right, Gene, the question from Howie Rose is the character in the movie played by John Lovitz of the Scouts trying to recruit players. How accurate a portrayal was that?
Well, I didn't see any scouts like John Lovitz, but I'm sure that there were a few around. But he was very, very good in the role. We all thought that all of the actors did a magnificent job.
And by the way, they're hoping for a reunion in the year 2001.
All right, 3 balls, 1 strike here to Alphonse. I wish Lovitz had a bigger role in that movie.
Tom Hanks was outstanding playing the part of the manager, and that manager was supposed to be the late Jimmy Fox.
Yeah. Ball 4 to Alfonso. Made him out to be something of a pathetic character, though.
Well, he fell on some hard times after his playing career, had an alcohol-related problem, and unfortunately, when he passed away, he choked to death. And he was a magnificent specimen as an athlete, a great player. Some people say might have been a better hitter than anybody.
Fox was, what, 534 home runs, right? I believe for a long time. He was second to Babe Ruth.
Won the Triple Crown.
Remember, Ruth hit 714. That was the best all time until, of course, 1974. But during the 50s and 60s, I believe, unless I'm leaving somebody out, you had Ruth was 714, Fox 534, Ted Williams 521, and I think Mel Ott 511. And those were your top 4. You know, of course, people like Willie Mays and obviously Hank Aaron and so many others have joined that elite group. 0-1 to John Olerud with 2 out. And Alfonso at first. Mets leading 2-0. We're in the 3rd. Alfonso bluffed. Took a few steps and stopped.
One thing John Olerud has been doing lately, since he's been struggling, is you see him halfway a lot. When he's swinging the bat very well, it usually gets the hands back in the hitting position. The bat comes through the hitting zone. He's checking his swing a lot more lately.
And the 0-2 to Olerud, picked by Young, and the side retires. Hard hit by Olerud, but no runs, no hits. A walk and 1 left, and through 3 here at Shea. 2-0, Mets.
A reminder.
There's big news in the shipping business. Now there's a shipper that confirms your packages will receive. A shipper that uses digital scanners, lets you check on delivery by phone or internet, and can save you up to 65% over 2-day services. Which one is it? The U.S. Postal Service. Introducing delivery confirmation for priority mail. So, now what's your priority?
Professor Barrows? Yes, Russell? I'm a little confused. Would I be better off upgrading to an external 56K modem, or should I go for DSL?
Here, Russell, nature has a way of giving us all the answers we are looking for.
Looking for technology information? There's really only one place to go, CNET.com.
Little fella.
It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to GEICO, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
Amateur.
GEICO Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When the male is in pursuit of the female, the slightest scent of unpleasantness may send the female running. Thus, Right Guard Clear Gel or Clear Stick. Powerful protection from odor and wetness that glides on clear. Right Guard. Anything less would be uncivilized.
4th inning at Shea Stadium. Time for our Aflac trivia question, and it has to do with perfect games on this date. We told you Kenny Rogers threw one of them. Who's the other? We'll give you the answer in the bottom half of the 4th inning.
They know the answer.
I think there's a lot of answers there. But the one question I've got for them is, why are they wearing ties this afternoon? It's only 90-plus degrees.
Who are they representing?
Probably a clothing store. 0-1 to Kevin Young.
That can't be a camp. Maybe they're consulates.
If that's a camp, they've all got desk jobs. Ventura charging. He's going to have to hurry. And he gets Kevin Young one away. What do you think? Do umpires miss pitches occasionally? You tell us. Why are one of these pitches a strike and the other one a ball?
Because the umpire is human behind the plate. And C.B. Buckner calling this pitch on Brian Giles back in the first inning. And there's a late break to this ball. Might have fooled Buckner. Maybe he took his eye off the ball, but it was a good pitch. And here's the pitch in the third inning. Same pitch, but thrown to a right-hander. It's a strike to Nunez in the third inning, but it was thrown to a right-hander. He might have had a better view of the ball because the right-handed batter, maybe he lost the ball with Giles hitting, who was a left-handed hitter. The ball was thrown behind Giles and broke over the plate. And you see he has a good view of the ball thrown to the right-hander, Ed Sprague, right there. If you take a look at that pitch to Giles in the first inning, might have started behind Giles. Maybe Buckner lost sight of the ball.
Inside to Ed Sprague, 2-1. Boy, Sprague has eaten up Kenny Rogers over the course of their careers. Ed Sprague, 12 hits and 30 at-bats, now 31 with his first inning ground out, and 3 home runs against Kenny. Low, 3 balls and a strike.
See our in-game box. The Pirates with 1 hit so far in this ball game. Kevin Young getting a base hit into center field. Only hit off Kenny Rogers so far.
3-1 to Sprague. To Ordonez. Put the in-between hop. And Sprague barely running down to first, 2 men away.
And Sprague, who slipped out of the box throughout his career, has handled Kenny Rogers very well. Sprague batting .400 against Kenny Rogers. And you see Sprague slipping and falling coming out of the batter's box. Sprague also has 3 home runs against Kenny Rogers.
7 out of 11 outs by Rogers on the ground. Warren Morris fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. So to this point, Kenny Rogers pitching just the way Kenny Rogers pitches when he's on.
Ground ball, ground ball, ground ball. He's with the right ball club to throw ground balls.
Three times this year, Rogers has done something that no Met pitcher has done here in 1999, and that's throw a complete game. Of course, in the American League, your turn in the batting order doesn't come up, so naturally, you're going to have more complete game opportunities. But, boy, no complete games yet by a Met. Fouled off, 1-2.
Well, how important is the complete game? If you have a bullpen like the Mets, it's no big deal. Now, is it a pride thing with starting pitchers? I'm sure it is, but you get a guy getting 7 good innings and go to this Met bullpen, and you've got a good chance for a victory.
Nice problem for Bobby Valentine. He's got 6 healthy starters now. And Bobby Jones hoping to contribute before the year is out. Through yesterday in a simulated game. Missed with a fastball, 2-2.
I think Juan Marichal has about 243 wins in his career, and I think 245 complete games.
That's right.
But he was, and Juan, I thought, was done at a young age. He was in his early 30s. Now, maybe it was because of all the effort he put forth in those complete games.
Maybe you just drove him insane when you caught him.
When he was a delight to catch. You want to talk about a guy that's going to call his own game? You're going to put the signs down. But he's going to be shaking.
Breaking ball on the ground to second. The bat's in one piece. But the Pirates are retired, and Rogers threw 3 ground ball outs in the 4th as the Pirates go in order. They'll have the Aflac answer when we get back.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
The pickup truck, the international symbol of rugged independence. In the Nissan Frontier Crew Cab, a man can go wherever his wandering spirit takes him. He can bring everything he needs, and he can do whatever he darn well pleases. Yes, the Frontier sure says a lot about a man. And his wife, and his 3 little girls. The new Nissan Frontier Crew Cab.
Go to the beach without getting sand in your shorts with New Jersey Online's beach cams. Check them out at NJ.com.
McDonald's and the Mets invite you to bring your youngster to a Mets game for free. Visit the McDonald's McFamily Activity Center and pick up a coupon to buy 2 tickets for the price of 1 to selected Mets games. And you and a guest could win a trip to Florida for Mets spring training next year. For every ticket order, the Mets will donate $1 to Ronald McDonald House Charities. Get your coupon at participating McDonald's restaurants while supplies last. No purchase necessary to enter. Entries must be received by September 30th, 1999. See store display for rules.
Last of the 4th inning, it's 2-0 New York, and the reason for one of those runs, Robin Ventura will lead off against Todd Ritchie. Ventura launched his 20th home run, and his 78th run batted in the 1st inning. That's after Alfonso had hit his 15th.
Yeah, the Mets have 2 hits in this game, both home runs. The Pirates only 1 hit off Kenny Rogers.
Time called by the second base umpire, Joe West. Ball had gotten loose. Bobby's got to like what he's seen from Kenny Rogers. He's seen it before. 2-0 to Ventura. In the air to the left side, the shortstop Nunez out with Sprague, and Nunez covers the ground. Freddie Garcia was coming in from left field as well, but Nunez took charge. Well, last night was turn ahead the clock. This is kind of like a turn back the clock. The days when everybody came to the ballpark in jackets and ties, or at least ties on these hot days. And our Aflac trivia question has to do with the past, although not all that distant past, because Kenny Rogers and El Presidente, Dennis Martinez, pitched perfect games on this date 8 years ago. Those guys knew. A lot of answers sitting in those seats. 1-0, bagged by Ani. Then he grounded to short his first time up. And it's Sprague with an easy play. 2 gone.
Well, I talked about the corners for the Pirates in the infield. They have a lot of errors. 21 errors this year for Ed Sprague. And Kevin Young with 15 errors. Young usually a steady first baseman.
Worth noting again, Fran, that inscription Kid on the cap of Kevin Young and many of the Pirates, tribute to the injured Jason Kendall. 0-1 to Brian McRae.
And the in-game box score brought to you by New York Life. 2 home runs, 2 hits, 2 home runs.
0-2 to Brian. McRae hitless in his last 7 trips. His average down to 221.
And even late in the ball game now for defensive replacements. Bobby Valentine's opting to go with Melvin Mora in center field.
Bobby will tell you that McRae has trouble getting to certain balls now because he's had a sore leg. And he likes Melvin Mora defensively as much as any of the Mets outfielders.
Brian says he cannot complain. Mets are playing very good baseball coming into today's action at 1.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies 6.5 back.
Warren Morris took it off the lip of the infield and throws out McRae to end the inning. So Kenny Rogers has been real good. He shut out the Pirates through 4, but this kid, Todd Ritchie, although giving up 2 solo homers in the first inning, has settled in well himself. Still 2-0.
Howard Stern thinks he's outrageous.
Godzilla Rabbit.
Martha Stewart says he's a good thing.
Harry, stop it. I can't see it.
And he's live twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 on The Pet Shop.
This is an interesting bird here.
Join animal wrangler Mark Marone and his furry friends. Get great ideas to help you better understand your cuddly creature. Watch The Pet Shop with animal wrangler Mark Marone, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8.
Only on Metro Learning. Let go. Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen my partner, Chris Myers, do an interview on Fox Sports News? I don't know what he's got, but, I mean, the biggest names in sports, they just seem to open up to him.
You grew up in a tough neighborhood. You escaped gangs and drugs, but your little brother wasn't so lucky. Can you talk about that? I know this is difficult. You're going to be all right.
Well, the only senior PGA Pro tournament is coming to Long Island at the Meadowbrook Club, August 6th through the 8th. You can walk the course with the elite of the senior PGA. Gary Player, Lee Trevino, Chi Rodriguez, Raymond Floyd, and many others will be there. For special advance tickets, call 516-674-GOLF. These kids have a way to go before they can compete in the senior PGA Tour. Man, I wish I would have taken up golf as a kid. There's Chi-Chi. You're one of the few baseball players I know, Fran, that doesn't really play golf.
Well, I really respect the golfers, and I've enjoyed watching golf over the years. I find it to be a very exciting sport, but...
Can't do it, huh?
No. I'm not one to go out there and use profanity. Top of the 5th inning, Freddie Garcia, the batter. 1-0 on Garcia. It's a good curveball. Kenny Rogers has shown a good curveball so far in this ball game. Big break to it. Get those right-handers to commit, and all they can do is take it. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Once again, a breaking ball down low. 2-1. Garcia last year led the Pittsburgh organization with a combined 31 home runs at the major and minor league level. He was the opening day third baseman last year for the Pirates. Ended up being optioned to the minor league before the season was over. Again, a curveball for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I tell you, when your right-handed hitter and a left-hander has that curveball, the overhand curveball, and he's throwing it for strikes, it's tough because you commit yourself, and then the ball breaks late and breaks over the plate. Jams him with a fastball and fouls it back. So the count is 2-2 on Freddie Garcia.
Pretty good sequence there. Get him thinking about that hook and then bust him with heat.
And so far, Rogers has shown, as we mentioned, that good curveball and very good location with his fastball. And a 2-2 pitch. Fastball is pulled foul. Rogers has a 4-seam fastball and a 2-seam fastball. Has a straight change. So far this afternoon has had great control. He's only allowed 1 Pirate hit. Todd Pratt knows that Kenny Rogers will have the final decision on the pitches. Garcia out in front. So we'll do it again at 2-2 on just a gorgeous day here at Shea Stadium. A lot of kids here at the ballpark. A lot of camps represented. You went to camp as a kid, I'm sure, Howard.
For a few years. Counselor for a long time. North Shore Day Camp at Bayside.
So you stopped going to camp, what, about 5 years ago?
Not exactly. I still do weekends.
Down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I was an awful counselor. My motto was, if I don't see it, you didn't do it.
Well, no worries, right?
I was a player's manager.
A lot of counselors here today, they got ties and shirts on. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Another good pitch by Kenny Rogers. 1 down here in the 5th.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Jeep, the most award-winning brand of 4x4s on earth.
Sure, the souvenir stands here at Shea Stadium have been busy today with all the campers. And Kenny Rogers throws a strike to Joe Oliver, who's 0 for 1 in this game. No Mets pitcher has thrown a complete game. Howie mentioned that earlier, at least in the first 102 games this season. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's going to be tough to throw a complete game for the Mets this year with the bullpen they have. Bobby Valentine goes to the bullpen in a hurry. Here's the 1-1 pitch. From our rooftop camera, it was clearly outside. 2-1 on Oliver. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Todd Ritchie. Oliver out in front. It's a fly ball. Lazy fly ball to Ryan McRae. 2 down.
Good example by Brian McRae. You hear outfielders taught to run to the spot and look up, snag the ball. That's exactly what McRae did. Of course, he was making sure he was able to find it through the sun as well, but get to the spot, boom.
Well, I believe he was at the spot.
Well, no, he had to dart back a few steps. Watch. Top of your street. Now he's gone back a few steps. Stop. There you are. Not like he had to cover 50 feet.
Sound like those old timers talking about DiMaggio.
What do you want me to say? Here's the replay?
1-0 at Todd Ritchie.
No, that's extreme. And DiMaggio would have to cover a lot of ground.
And the 1-0 pitch. Ritchie out in front. 1 ball and 1 strike. I remember listening to the old timers comparing DiMaggio to Willie Mays. They said, well, he's much better. He got to where the ball was coming down. He never dove for the ball. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ground ball is short. Ordonez to Olerud. Scores 6-3. That'll do it for the Buccos here in the 5th inning. They fail to score. We played 4 1/2, and the Mets have a 2-0 lead.
It's here. The GMC Summer Convoy. 2 million tons of professional-grade trucks designed better than they need to be. Pickups, SUVs, and family vans. And on select 1999 models, some of the best values of the year. So come in now. This is one convoy you don't want passing you by. The GMC Summer Convoy.
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
How do businesses put the Bell Atlantic B2B into action? Say I'm a corporate party planner, and my client wants an Arctic theme party.
With real igloos.
With my B2B, anything's possible, even getting 2 tons of ice overnight.
And penguins.
Let's fly in those party animals.
Cool.
Almost forgot.
Water buff.
Ever seen an igloo melt? The Bell Atlantic Business-to-Business Buying Guide, where business meets business.
The Wiz Summer of Fun is back. Get up to 8 free tickets to the Mets or Yankees with select purchases, now and all summer long. The fun is back, only at the Wiz.
Oh, big crowd on hand here at Shea Stadium. Afternoon game, 12 o'clock start. Final game of this 3-game series. Sun-drenched Shea Stadium. You can be sun-drenched, well, you don't have to be.
All that's missing is salt.
Well, the Mets have a 2-0 lead, and Todd Pratt will lead it off for the Mets. He'll be followed by Ray Ordonez and then Kenny Rogers. The umbrella shading him from the sun. And he's got the umbrella in case it rains.
I'd bet the under on the rain.
Todd Ritchie set to go here for the Pirates. The Mets have 2 hits, both hits home runs. The Pirates have 1 off Kenny Rogers. And a breaking ball on the corner from Ritchie. 0-1 on Todd Pratt. The Mets going after their 61st victory of the season. Up high to Pratt. 1 ball and 1 strike. We had a shot at Pratt on the bench the other night talking to Kenny Rogers about these Pirates during the first game of this series. And Pratt hits a fly ball deep to left center field, and it stays in the ballpark for Freddie Garcia. And now let's go downstairs to Matt Loughlin. Matty?
Well, Fran, we know all about Al Leiter's Landing, the charitable foundation that he has formed. One of the groups here today, courtesy of Leiter's Landing, is called Happiness is Camping. And Kurt Struber is the director. Tell us a little bit about the Happiness is Camping.
Well, I tell you, this is our 17th year of doing camping for kids with cancer. We have a real simple philosophy. We're a camp for kids, so we work real hard to allow these kids to get out to camp and have the same kind of fun that any other kid would have at any other summer camp. A day like today at the ball game is a perfect example. These kids are, thanks to the Leiter family and the Mets organization, they're just having a ball, and nobody would know these are kids with cancer.
Well, of course, we here at Fox Sports Net New York are helping Al help others, and you can contribute also by either calling or logging on to the numbers on your screen. James Codrington, they call him Junior, has been attending for quite some time. Tell us about the camp, how much you like it.
Well, I've been going there for around 8 years. It's great. It's a great way to relax. You can, like, be yourself because everyone there knows what you're going through and probably been through something similar some way. So it's just nice. It's great.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, and we, of course, thank Al Leiter for all his help in helping others. Back upstairs.
All right, Matty. And a great cause. And some kids enjoying the ball game today as Kenny Rogers bunts Ray Ordonez to second base. Ordonez has singled to left field prior to Rogers' at bat.
Boy, ideal bunt here by Kenny Rogers. No problem at all for Ordonez getting down to second. And so Rogers executes the first sacrifice bunt of his career. He went down to get it.
And the batter now, Roger Cedeno, with a runner in scoring position. Good bunt by Kenny Rogers. So the Mets have a 2-0 lead. Ray Ordonez on second base. Roger Cedeno lined out and grounded out. Cedeno 0 for 2, and he takes away inside. 2 balls and no strikes on Cedeno, who is playing right field today. He likes center field. That's his favorite position. Kenny Rogers in his first outing as a Met. Ground ball, Young gloves it, takes it himself. So the Mets strand Ordonez on second base. They fail to score. We played 5 here at Shea on a gorgeous day. And the Mets have the lead, and we'll be back.
Camcorder, $400. 3-hour tape, $7. Extra battery, $25. Home movies with Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Priceless. Use your MasterCard and you could win 4 tickets to a '99 World Series game and sit with baseball's legends. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, sponsor of the Major League Baseball All-Century Team.
Does it take more to get you going in the morning? You get more. Nobody does breakfast like McDonald's. McDonald's has more ways to start your day. From our delicious hot breakfast bagel sandwiches to hearty hot cakes and sausage. So zip by McDonald's and make more of your morning.
Who will take the photographs that show us the meaning of family? Will it be you? The Vectus 2000.
When the male is in pursuit of the female, the slightest scent of unpleasantness may send the female running. Thus, Right Guard Clear Gel or Clear Stick. Powerful protection from odor and wetness that glides on clear. Right Guard. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Well, back here at Shea Stadium, a lot of buses.
Carrying a lot of kids. All those day camps here today.
Kids enjoying the ball game. A lot of campers on hand for this afternoon contest. Final game of the homestand. Let's head to Chicago, then Milwaukee, but they have work here to do against the Buccos as we go to the top of the sixth inning. Adrian Brown, who's 0 for 1, he also has a walk, leads it off. It's 1-0 on Brown. And Brown takes ball 2. Brown spent some time with the Pirates last year, batting .283 in 41 ball games. 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Brown signed with the Pirates back in 1992. He was a late draft pick, 48th round. He has replaced Brant Brown in the lineup today because of the left-hander. Adrian Brown just took ball 4. And now let's take a look at our Delta schedule.
Well, the Mets will head to Chicago for the weekend. They'll spend the entire week in the Midwest. 3 games at Wrigley Field. They'll be carried by the WB11. And then Fran and I will be in Milwaukee at County Stadium. Perhaps the last visit there by the Mets, pending the condition of new Miller Park.
Ground ball is second base. Brown will make it to second, and Alfonso gets Abraham Nunez at first. So Adrian Brown moving to second base on the ground ball.
For those who might not be aware, Miller Park, the new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, scheduled to be ready by opening day next year. The scene of a fatal accident a couple of weeks ago where a crane collapsed, and there has been some thought that because of what's necessary to get the damage straightened out from that accident, that Miller Park might not be ready on time next year. So depending upon how many times the Mets go to Milwaukee next season and when, this could be the last trip into County Stadium.
Well, Brian Giles will step in and face Kenny Rogers with the runner on second base. Giles last year split some time between Cleveland, and he played a little bit in Buffalo. 1-0 now on Giles. Giles 0 for 1. He's also walked. Adrian Brown leading off second base. And a 1-0 pitch. Good breaking ball for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Was that payback for that first at bat when he called it the curveball, a ball on Giles?
Yeah, the first time it was the difference between strike 3 and ball 4 with C.B. Buckner awarding Brian Giles first base on the walk. This evens the count at 1-1.
Fouled off. So Kenny Rogers quickly ahead of Brian Giles. On deck for the Pirates, Kevin Young. But the story here at Shea, Kenny Rogers pitching in New York as a member of a New York team. There's a 1-2 count on Brian Giles. Rogers' former ball club, the Oakland A's, 8.5 games behind the Texas Rangers in the West in the American League. Kind of a surprise because Oakland had a shot at the wild card that they traded Kenny Rogers away. And the throw goes into center field. And Adrian Brown advances to third base. He had great control throwing to the plate. Bad control throwing to second base right there.
Fran, what do you think about the fact that they have not worked that play together before? Is there any communication necessary to pull off this timing play? It's the daylight play. And Ordonez sneaking in behind the base runner Adrian Brown. Rogers just threw it away.
Unless they move second base on different fields, no problem whatsoever. He just threw the ball away. So an error on Kenny Rogers. 1-2 on Giles. Runner on third. Here's that curveball bouncing to second. One will score. Alfonso goes to first. 2 down.
And the reason the run scores, the Mets playing the infield back, and properly so, with a 2-run lead at 2-0. You play the infield in, trying to cut that run off, and you take the risk of a routine grounder getting through that drawn-in infield, putting the tying run aboard. So the Mets forced, because of the error, to give up the run, playing the infield back, trying to cut off the possibility for a potentially bigger inning.
Turk Wendell starts to throw in the Met bullpen. And Kevin Young, the batter, he hits the ball off the end of the bat to third base. Ventura to Olerud. That'll do it for the Pirates here in the top of the sixth. But they pick up a run, and after 5.5, it's Mets 2, Pirates 1.
Currently, I'm working in K9, and this is my partner, Rusty. He's with me 24 hours a day. So there's a bond there that you can't break. You know, I trust him, and I have faith in him. And he's one of the best partners you can ever have. I love him to death. I really do.
Are you ready to hit the road?
Ever wish the world were more solid under your feet? When the going gets tough, is a driver's seat the only seat for you?
Are you ready for something you've always wanted? Then get to the Pontiac Hit the Road Summer Sell Down and lease the solid Grand Am for $229 a month for 36 months with zero due at lease signing. Tax, title, license, and registration are extra.
Hit the road for Pontiac driving excitement.
See your dealer today.
What are you waiting for?
Hurry to Sears Goodbye July tire sale for hot deals. Like the BS Goodrich Plus tire, now as low as $22.99, including a 50,000-mile limited treadwear warranty. Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
Are you ready for the luck of the Irish?
Saturday, August 7th is Irish Night. Adults will take home a green Mets cap courtesy of 1-800-Mattress, the original dial-a mattress. Be here as the Mets take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Then stay for the post-game concert by Irish rock band Black 47. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX.
Show up at Shea for Irish Night and stay for the Black 47 concert.
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you.
Well, back here at Shea Stadium, we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Edgardo Alfonso steps in and takes a ball from Todd Ritchie. Ritchie has only allowed 3 Met hits, but the Mets have a 2-1 lead. Pirates with 1 hit. Alfonso fouls it back. And Bobby Valentine talking to Kenny Rogers.
All right, those kinds of handshakes, Fran, indicate that he might be done. Remember, he's had that hamstring, which he tweaked shagging fly balls, and with Turk Wendell continuing to throw with the Mets batting here in the last of the 6th inning. The indication is that Rogers is done, and that's the trainer, Fred Hina, perhaps also checking in on that hamstring.
Fouled off. 1-2 on Alfonso. With Turk Wendell, I mean, you look at that bullpen, you can see him up early in the game, in the middle of the game, late in the game. Very valuable property for the Mets. Turk Wendell, as you look at Fred Hina, the head trainer, talking to Kenny Rogers.
Kenny allowing only 1 hit through 6.
Well, he's had good stuff today, throwing good control, good pitches, great location, breaking off that curveball. Tell you what, the Pirates are going to be happy to see him out of this ball game. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to third. Sprague bobbles at error number 22 for Ed Sprague. Well, the Mets were hurt by an error by Kenny Rogers. And we'll see if this error burns the Pirates.
Some errors are tougher than others, but this is just a routine ground ball. He got the perfect hop, but muffed it, plain and simply. An error on Ed Sprague, and as this is the 6th inning, it's the Silver Bullet 6, the Coors Light Silver Bullet 6. The Mets are batting Joyce Ann Lamparello from New Jersey. For the Met homers, Joyce Ann wins dinner for two at Bobby Valentine's Restaurant in Stamford.
John Olerud, the batter. He walked, checked that he struck out, grounded out. That's a bad pitch out. 1-0 on Olerud. Joe Oliver got out there for that pitch out. You're expecting it from the waist up. And when you have to go down, it's uncomfortable. That's the last thing you're expecting.
When Roger Cedeno is aboard, regardless of how many outs, he tends to run on the first pitch. Here, Olerud's a good guy to try to work the count and get into a hit-and-run situation, which is what made it surprising to me that they pitched out on the first pitch.
Yeah, and Alfonso's not known as a base stealer, so they might be battling the hit and run, but right now, Olerud trying to fight himself out of a slump. Olerud right around the 300 mark. Had last night off. Let's need Olerud if they are to catch the Braves. They need a very productive John Olerud. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There goes the runner. There's a drive to deep left field. Freddie Garcia back on the warning track and making the grab. Alfonso retreats to first base. And now let's take a look at our Jeep game summary.
A whole lot of pitching going on, along with two long balls by the Mets. Alfonso and Ventura connecting in the first inning. Kevin Young, the only hit for the Pirates off of Kenny Rogers, who, from the looks of things, with Wendell having been throwing in the bullpen and Rogers having been given some handshakes, could very well be done with that very impressive line. And by the way, full marks to Gene Lamont. He guessed right on that first pitch hit and run. I was surprised at that.
And Robin Ventura, the batter, takes down low, ball one. Well, sometimes if you call for a pitch out, and on the next pitch, a manager might put the hit and run on because you've already called for that first pitch out. Managers tend to shy away from calling for two pitch outs in a row, although a catcher being a manager, he might take more liberties, and Gene Lamont was a catcher.
It's really a second pitch hit and run because the first pitch was the pitch out, but just throwing that pitch out on the first pitch meant that he was suspicious of the immediate hit and run as opposed to Olerud, who is good at working the count, getting it into his favor at 2-1, for example, and then sending Alfonso.
And you saw Olerud, we talked about it earlier, somewhat indecisive the past few games while he's fighting himself out of this slump. And sometimes a manager will put the hit and run on so you'll take that full swing. They check Alfonso at first base. They are paying a lot of attention to Alfonso. Robin Ventura, who homered in this ball game, also popped out. They check Alfonso again. He's leaning, back going upstairs to Ventura. 90 miles per hour, that fastball. 2 balls and no strikes on Robin Ventura. Hit his 20th home run in today's ball game. Down low, 3-0 on Ventura.
After Alfonso homered in the first inning, Robin Ventura turns on the fastball and launches it.
78 RBIs for number 4. 3-0 pitch, takes up high, ball 4. So the Mets have runners on first and second. That'll bring Pete Vukovich out of the dugout. Looks like Richie's getting a little bit tired. Well, although he's allowed only 3 hits.
And in fairness to Richie as well, it should be a 2-out situation here in the 6th inning because Alfonso's ground ball should have been handled easily by Ed Sprague at third, who instead booted it for an error.
Well, the Pirates capitalized on a Met error in the top of the sixth. So we'll see if Alfonso scores after reaching on an error. And I think, Howie, sometimes the error is blown out of proportion unless that runner comes around to score. Then it's a serious error. Adrian Brown was on second base. Kenny Rogers tried to pick him off at the top of the sixth, threw the ball in center field, moving Brown to third, and with the infield back, Brown was able to score on a ground ball to Alfonso. Billy Agbayani takes a strike from Richie. See Kenny Rogers flexing the hamstring.
Yeah. He originally hurt it in the outfield, shagging flies in Oakland, and he might have tweaked it pitching to the Pirates in the sixth inning.
Agbayani takes off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The Mets are obviously not going to take any chances, particularly as well as Rogers pitched this afternoon. Boy, he's got reason to smile. 1 hit allowed through 6 innings.
Big at bat for Agbayani. And he hits a drive into center field. Brian Giles is under and makes the grab, and on the fly ball, Alfonso tags and moves to third.
Center fielder Brian McCray.
All right, we think this is where Rogers might have done something to the hamstring. Abraham Nunez batting with nobody out in the 6th inning. Just keep an eye on Rogers here as Nunez hits the ground ball to the right side. You see him breaking off the mound there? Looked as though he started limping as soon as he came off the mound, and that might be where he aggravated, if in fact that's the problem, the hamstring. He's still stretching. That's actually what we showed you moments ago, stretching after the fact.
Brian McCray steps in and takes down low. McCray struggling with the bat. In fact, Brian has the second lowest batting average of any of the 168 players in the majors with enough plate appearances to qualify for the batting title. Greg Norton of the White Sox, the only one ahead of Brian McCray. There's a ground ball to second base. So, flip to first, and the Mets strand 2 runners. Fail to score after 6 complete. Here at Shea, the story is Kenny Rogers. He's out of the ball game. The Mets have a 1-run lead.
Do you have the body you've always desired? Well, to get it is easy, and right now is the time. Introducing Valley Sports Club, state-of-the-art fitness centers with locations throughout Manhattan. Get the body you've always wanted and change your life. It's easy to get started. Take advantage of our no-sweat pricing. Just make your first monthly payment at the time you join. You'll look great and you'll feel great. Change your life. Join Valley Sports Club today. Call 800-34-VALLEY now.
Hey, sports fans, the Coors Light Silver Bullet 6 begins with New York Mets baseball on Fox Sports Net New York. You can win in the Silver Bullet 6 when a New York player hits a Coors Light Silver Bullet blast. That means if any Met hits a home run in the 6th inning, a name will be drawn and awarded dinner for 2 at participating Coors restaurants. To win, send a postcard with your name, address, and daytime phone number. Mets baseball on Fox Sports Net New York. A cold Coors Light and a great dinner. Coors Light. Tap the Rockies.
The season's in full swing, and Fox Sports News Primetime is bringing the heat.
Take a deep breath.
The big names, all the games.
You can't coach that.
Steve Sachs, Kevin Kennedy, and our starting lineup take you between the lines and into the zone.
No bullpen, no championships.
It's baseball coverage all season long.
But a cannon.
Catch Fox Sports News Primetime, nightly at 10.
Well, back here at Shea Stadium, 2-1. The Mets are on top of the Pirates. New pitcher Turk Wendell. Kenny Rogers removed from the ball game. If the Mets win and he gets the victory, it'll be victory 110 for his career. And he showed good stuff today. Unfortunately, we think he might have injured that hamstring. We're waiting for word on that. But Kenny Rogers out of the ball game. But very impressive, Howie, with that curveball and his fastball, throwing strikes and working rapidly.
And throwing ground balls, which is how you know Kenny Rogers is on. Kenny was certainly all of that through 6 innings, and hopefully that hamstring will not force him to miss any time, but hamstrings have a tendency to linger. So the Mets being very conservative, and why not when you've got Turk Wendell?
Well, Turk Wendell, we mentioned him. I mean, you can get Turk Wendell as he comes in as a short man out of the pen, long man, middle reliever. Very valuable piece of property for the Mets.
Wendell part of a double switch engineered by Bobby Valentine. That's a strike to Ed Sprague, 1 ball, 1 strike. Brian McRae made the last out of the inning. And so McRae comes out of the ball game. Melvin Mora goes in to play center field. It's popped up to the left side. It'll reach the seats behind the Pittsburgh dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sprague.
Well, we think Rogers re-injured the hamstring. We don't know to what degree when he broke toward first base on a ground ball. The pitcher see the break, and then he starts to limp, and he tells Todd Pratt, when Todd asked him, he said, "I'm all right."
And Bobby Valentine not taking any chances with him. The count 2-2 to Sprague. Foul tip. C.B. Buckner got the worst of it. He thinks that's bad. Wait till September 2nd if he finds out he's not on the list of rehired umps.
There's that stance, and Sprague taking a big rip. Ball hitting C.B. Buckner. Sprague said he's very relaxed with this stance that he came up with 3 days prior to the end of spring training.
Still 2-2 on Sprague. Come to think of it, I don't think C.B. Buckner was affected by all of that. He, I believe, was a late hire, or is still considered relief. As Sprague swings and misses for the first out here in the 7th inning. So I think he'll be around, but how many of the others will? Bud Wiltsbrook, courtesy of umpire Richie Garcia from the American League.
Said obviously it didn't turn out to be the right move because we had defectors. The reason we have what we have today is because of Richie Phillips. Richie Garcia, who was an umpire, has been an umpire for many years.
Well, Richie Phillips sure showed them, didn't he? 0-1 to Warren Morris.
Well, one of the umpires was quoted in today's paper saying that, you know, when he went home and told his wife, she said, "Do you think you should have a cooling off period?"
Alfonso throws out Morris, 2 gone in the 7th.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Turk Wendell went over to back up first base and almost made contact with Morris running down the baseline. Where's Turk going?
Well, we know where the Rosenbag's going, but Wendell now is going to have to deal with Al Martin, who will pinch hit for Freddie Garcia in a lefty-righty move. Kenny Rogers, having started the game, a left-hand pitcher. And Martin, a left-hand batter, had the afternoon off, but now with Wendell, a right-hander in there, Al Martin, who hit 2 home runs last night, will face Turk. Martin, though, 0 for 5 in his career against Wendell. Mets with a 2-1 lead. We're in the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes.
Martin hit 2 home runs in last night's game, duplicating a feat that he first executed against the Mets in '96. As you look at the Pirate in-game box score, only 2 of the Pirate players have had a pair of multi-home run games against the Mets. Willie Stargell one and Andy Van Slyke the other.
Willie Stargell, a great player. In fact, Willie hit the first home run in the history of Shea Stadium. Boy, did he eat the Mets up. 2-1 now to Martin.
Another guy who ate the Mets up, Willie McCovey, holds the record for the most multi-homer games against the Mets, 8. Willie Mays is second with 6.
Little looper, and it's going to drop in. Martin turns first, had thought long about second base before turning back. And Bayani plays the ball in, so a 2-out pinch hit single for Al Martin. Only the second hit for the Pirates, their first since the first inning.
What stopped Martin from going for two or chancing it was the way Agbayani got to this ball and picked it up. Martin took a wide turn at first base and then held on as Agbayani got to the ball. You see Martin muscling the ball in the left field and hustling down to first base.
So with 2 out, it's Joe Oliver, the Pittsburgh catcher, and Wendell hits the inside corner with a fastball, 0-1.
We're emphasizing the word hustle down to first base. That's the way you're supposed to do it, no matter who you are.
Martin representing the potential tying run at first. Inside to Oliver, a ball and a strike. One other day game scheduled in the National League. That's still not to get started for about 2 hours yet. The Giants at home against St. Louis. The Braves play at home tonight against Milwaukee. 1-2 to Oliver. In fact, in that game, Bruce Chen will pitch for Atlanta, but the Milwaukee starter will be the former Met, Bill Pulsipher, who's been out for a lot of this year with back problems. But right here, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Oliver with 2 men away in the 7th. And a 2-1 New York lead, but now Pratt and Wendell want to make sure they're on the same page.
Now Todd Pratt going out. Just take a moment of Turk Wendell's time, but they look like they were both very relaxed. As Dennis Cook throws in the Mets bullpen. Al Jackson, the bullpen coach out there with Dennis.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Wendell deals, fouled back.
Oh, he's 1-2 now on Oliver. We've heard Turk talk about his out pitch, the slider. Grant Brown on deck, left-handed hitter.
And again, the 1-2 pitch. On the ground, Ventura across the diamond, and the side retired. So a 2-out pinch single by Al Martin. We'll stretch here at Shea, but while we do, let's take a trip to the Fox Network Center for this sports update.
This Fox Sports News Sports Break is brought to you by Original Coors.
I'm Kevin Frazier of Fox Sports News here with this sports break. Mark McGwire hit his 37th home run of the year Tuesday, but it wasn't enough as the Cardinals fell to the Giants 2-1. And the threat of a walkout by Major League umpires ended Tuesday with all of the umpires rescinding their resignations. News, scores, and highlights nightly on Fox Sports News, right here on Fox Sports Net.
Don't you worry, little guys. I'll find you a happy home. Hey, Bearman, before you take this frost brewed Coors Light, one of my little babies, I'll have to ask you a few questions. Huh? How often do you clean your home?
Wanted a beer.
Of course you do. Do you have a good job?
I'm a surgeon, brain surgeon.
I won't be happy till all these beers have a good home. Bearman, there's a roof over your head.
Oh, skylight.
Hello, Mr. Peterson.
Hello. So, do you have any questions before we get started?
Yeah,
Do you think a computer with 500 megahertz and 128 megs of RAM is enough?
Well, let's do a little investigating, shall we?
Looking for technology information? There's really only one place to go, CNET.com.
You like bran muffins?
Yeah.
They are the legends who define the class and excitement of the game. They are the very essence of what professional golf is all about. They are the players of the Life Path Long Island Classic. Join Chichi Rodriguez, Lee Trevino, Bob Duvall, and returning after his dramatic one-stroke win, champion Gary Player at the challenging Meadowbrook Club. The Life Path Long Island Classic. The excitement begins next week. Order tickets by phone today and don't miss this legendary golf event.
The Life Path Long Island Classic, the only senior PGA Pro tournament on Long Island, will come to the Meadowbrook Club August 6th through the 8th. Get up close and walk the course with the elite of the senior PGA. Gary Player, Lee Trevino, Chichi Rodriguez, Raymond Floyd, and many others. For special advance tickets, call 516-674-GOLF. we go to the last of the 7th inning here at Shea. The game, in case you're just tuning in, going, what happened? Last of the 7th, it's only 5-2. A 12-10 start this afternoon. Give the Camp kids a chance to get out and enjoy the entire game. And the Mets with a 2-1 lead as Todd Pratt swings and misses at the first pitch from Todd Ritchie here in the home 7th. Word on Kenny Rogers. He was taken out for strictly precautionary reasons, a little tightness in the right hamstring. So Wendell got through the 7th, and now Pratt pumps one up. Morris after it. In comes Giles, and it drops in. So Todd Pratt picks up a leadoff single. Before Ray Ordonez hits, let's check in with Matt Lockman.
Well, normally Turk Wendell on a Wednesday goes out and visits a community group, but Howie, the community group came to Turk today. Steve Becker is the director of Sports Buddies. Tell us about the organization.
Sports Buddies is a one-to-one mentoring organization that works with single-parent children and matches them up with adults who want to be involved in their lives. And the interesting thing about Sports Buddies is that it's a program that has a health, sports, and fitness angle to it. So a lot of sports teams, the Mets in particular, have been generous about donating tickets and player appearances all throughout the year.
Well, Peter DeMarco is a mentor, and why are you involved, Peter?
Well, I grew up with a dad who was always available, taking me to, sporting events and games, and there are a lot of kids who don't have that, opportunity, and I have a lot of free time, and I just wanted to, make a difference in a kid's life, and James here is my little sports buddy, and we've had the opportunity to go to Chelsea Piers and climb the rock wall and do the trampoline. What else did we do? More bowling.
Yeah, bowling.
You have fun. You're getting a lot out of it, aren't you, James?
Yeah, we play soccer.
Throw the baseball around. He's turning into a good hitter. But it's not also about, it's not only sports oriented. We've gone to, bookstores and museums and just kind of, pal around.
Well, it's a great program. The Mets were grateful to help the organization out today. And, of course, Turk got a chance to say hello earlier. Fellas?
Todd Pratt with a stolen base. Ordonez had squared the bunt, pulled the bat back. The Pirates were playing the Mets to sacrifice, and Todd Pratt picks up a stolen base.
A good move by Todd Pratt. When infielder charges like Kevin Young, you're allowed to get a big jump off first base, and you see the slide away from second base, and Todd Pratt stealing second in a crucial time of the ball game.
Now Ordonez thinking about a 2-strike bunt, pulls the bat back, 2-2. You think Ordonez might have missed a sign, or Pratt simply saw the opportunity and seized it?
Well, Pratt probably, maybe Bobby Valentine is very aggressive, put Pratt in motion, a bunt and run, and you could see Kevin Young coming in, and because of that, Pratt was able to get a big jump.
And on 2-2, Ordonez trying to bunt, fouls it off.
What Ray did there was poor mechanics as far as bunting the ball. Ray's much better at bunting the ball. He's very unhappy with himself. The pitch was up. It's usually a tough pitch to bunt when the pitch is up. It's a fastball, and watch Ray kind of try to push it. And bad mechanics by Ray Ordonez.
Bobby Valentine was hoping to get the runner to third with one out and force the Pirates to bring their infield in. You've got Melvin Mora batting now. Remember, he's in the 9th spot with a double switch after Rogers was lifted. Now the Pirates can keep their infield back with Pratt still at second base.
Very important at bat for Ordonez to enhance his value offensively. He's got to move the runner along in a situation like that. Takes away from his value when he's ineffective, as you look at our New York Life in-game box.
Couple of home runs accounting for the Mets offense. 0-2 now to Melvin Mora. Mora, after that great spring, sent down at the start of the season, but has not hit up here. Just 2 hits and 22 at-bats. One ball, 2 strikes. Todd Ritchie's been in all the way, giving up the 2 runs in the first inning. Since then, he's allowed just 2 hits. Ordonez in the 5th and Pratt here in the 7th. Pirates were thinking about a daylight play, but Ritchie just stepped off. The shortstop Nunez darted in behind Pratt. On a similar play with Kenny Rogers on the mound, he threw the ball into center field, and it led to the Pittsburgh run. That was in the 6th inning. Still 1-2 on Mora. And the 1-2 delivery upstairs. Todd Ritchie has walked 3, struck out 3. He's looking for his 10th win of the year. He's been a real find for the Pirates. Had a good month of July, winning 3 out of 4 decisions. A converted reliever now starting for the Pirates. Hit hard, and now Pratt's caught up. Nunez running him towards third. Now Sprague running him back. And Sprague applies the tag with the play right in front of Pratt. He makes a base running mistake.
Yeah, bad base running by Todd Pratt after stealing second base. The ball is hit in front of him. And his reaction was to head to third. I tell you, when the ball's hit in front, go back to, he knew he made a mistake. As soon as he broke, he knew he made a mistake. And the Mets pay as Todd Pratt is out in the rundown, and Melvin Mora had a hold on at first base. You can see Pratt's reaction. He started and he realized this is a problem.
So the Mets' execution has not been good here in the 7th inning, and as a result, now they've got a runner on first with 2 outs. Mora does have speed, so this might be a situation where they try to get him down to second base. So Pratt with a base hit. Erased by the base running mistake. And Cedeno with the third baseman, Ed Sprague, playing back. Tried to drop the bunt down that way. It's 0-1.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Cedeno's a table setter. If he can bunt, get on, you have runners on first and second for Alfonso, who's an RBI man.
Cedeno now just 1 hit in his last 17 at-bats.
Got a bunt. When you have legs like that and you can bunt like him, bunt it until you come out of the slump.
Now Sprague is even with the bag at third, and Cedeno takes a full swing, 0-2.
A guy like Cedeno should rarely go into a slump because of his ability to bunt the ball and his ability to outrun a throw.
Pirates shade Cedeno the other way in the outfield. First, Mora draws some attention at first. Nothing drastic, but you see Brian Giles in center field. Couple of steps the other way. Adrian Brown in right field. Now Mora runs, but it doesn't matter. Cedeno down on strikes and the side retired. So the Mets get a leadoff single, nothing more. And we'll go to the 8th inning here at Shea Stadium. Rubber game of a 3-game series, 2-1 New York.
Here's to you, and here's to me. The best of friends will always be, but should we ever disagree? To hell with you, and here's to me.
Brewing with imported hops and caramel malts makes O'Doul's Amber a taste worth toasting. O'Doul's Amber non-alcohol brewing. And now original O'Doul's has a new recipe, brewed richer, smoother than ever before. Cheers.
When the male is in pursuit of the female, the slightest scent of unpleasantness may send the female running. Thus, Right Guard Clear Gel or Clear Stick. Powerful protection from odor and wetness that glides on clear. Right Guard. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Sit down, kid. To make it here at OmniPoint, remember this. With custom-tailored wireless, the customers get what they want. Now repeat after me. They can get any phone.
They can get any phone.
Get any minute plan.
Get any minute plan.
Get free features.
Get free features.
Very good. Here's a crack.
Get an Ericsson Digital PCS phone for just $49.
Camcorder, $400. 3-hour tape, $7. Extra battery, $25. Home movies with Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Priceless. Use your MasterCard and you could win 4 tickets to a '99 World Series game and sit with baseball's legends. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, sponsor of the Major League Baseball All-Century Team.
Ooh, good move. Well, Dave Wallace comes out to the mound because Brant Brown, a left-hand hitter, has just been announced as a pinch hitter for Todd Ritchie. And so Turk Wendell will depart, and Dennis Cook, the left-hander, will come in to face Brown.
So they sent Turk Wendell out there to start the inning to force Brant Brown up to the plate, and now they bring the left-hander Dennis Cook in to face Brown.
And the Browns hit home runs each of the first 2 games of this series, so Dennis Cook called on to answer this Omnipoint call to the bullpen.
Sit down, kid. To make it here at OmniPoint, remember this. With custom-tailored wireless, the customers get what they want. Now repeat after me. They can get any phone.
They can get any phone.
Get any minute plan.
Get any minute plan.
Get free features.
Get free features.
Very good. Here's a cracker.
Get an Ericsson digital PCS phone for just $49.
It's never happened before, and you never saw it coming. It's your transmission, so who do you call to make sure it's fixed right? AMCO. They have over 700 locations across the country offering lifetime warranties and repairs. That means wherever you go, the help you need is just a phone call away. It is a good number to have. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO, AAMCO.
I'll be right back with your new low Geico rate. Great. I can save you over $250.
Every week, 10,000 drivers switch their car insurance to Geico. We take all the necessary precautions. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Busy day. What?
New York Mets baseball is brought to you in part by Omnipoint, the exclusive wireless carrier of the New York Mets. Dennis Cook will become the 3rd pitcher for the Mets, but it's the first one, Kenny Rogers, who really lit this crowd up today with 6 outstanding innings.
Dave Wallace has to be very happy with Kenny Rogers. He was throwing that good curveball and a good fastball. Here's his... He made a play early in the ball game. Here's the curveball. It'll freeze the right-hander. Another hook. Ground ball to second base. He had great control today. Unfortunately, he had to leave the ball game after re-injuring the hamstring. But he pitched very well with that curveball and the fastball. Here's where he re-injured the hamstring. And he had to come out of the ball game. But boy, was he in control today of his pitches. He had the Pirate hitters way off balance. This is back to live action. Dennis Cook to Brant Brown. 0-1 on Brown. Cook stats right there. 48 games, 2.68 ERA.
Where Cook has been hurt this year has been the home run ball. Other than that, he's been virtually unhittable. You know, the league is hitting only $1.64 against Dennis Cook. And whereas last year, for some reason, the left-handers hit him better than the right-handers. This year, although it's been the same, because of that low average against, neither have done anything. Left-handers batting just .217 against him. One of the reasons the Mets wanted to make sure Brant Brown was announced as the pinch hitter, to then go out and get Cook to face him. Cook's ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Showed him the fastball away, 1-2. Let's try to set it up, give Benitez a chance to come back after the 13 ball in a row problem the other night. Get him right back out there and try to save it. 23 call.
Well, there's that high strike, and C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire, just rang up Grant Brown. Watch his fastball. And you don't see this called very often. High fastball. Strike 3 call. From our center field camera, you get a good look. And Brown taking, and Buckner ringing him up.
Right at the buckle, the belt buckle. That should be a no-brainer as far as the strike is concerned. We talk so often about how the rule book, based on the letter of the law, shows you that the strike zone approximately goes from the letters to the knees. You won't see anything called around the letters. At least not the rest of this year, but next year could be interesting. Major League Baseball will have a lot more jurisdiction and control, seemingly, as a result of this fiasco.
Well, the strike zone got too wide. I mean, you threw some pitches last year, and the hitter couldn't reach them, and they were being called a strike. Now they're bringing it in and raising the strike zone. At least when you raise it, you give a hitter an opportunity to swing at a ball in the strike zone.
Low to Adrian Brown, 2 balls and a strike. Well, Dennis Cook in a holding situation here. Now they credit pitchers with holds who come out of the bullpen with their team leading and don't get the chance to save a game. So Cook looking to just hold the lead, presumably, to get it to Benitez in the ninth. Popped up. Todd Pratt, John Olerud, who's it going to be? Ooh, both of them. But only one of them can get the ball, and it's Olerud.
Well, we've seen it where Piazza will just defer to Olerud, where here Todd Pratt ran a long way down in foul territory toward first base. Olerud had it under control, and bang. One thing we know for sure is John Olerud is very quiet. Now, I don't know if he even called for it. Todd Pratt making good contact with the first baseman. But it's the first baseman's ball, and not only was it in the glove, but the glove hit Pratt right square in the face. You know, if you go that far down the first baseline, you got a problem. So Pratt got cut by John Olerud's glove when it hit him in the face.
So 2 out, nobody on. John Wehner, the pinch hitter, takes ball 1 from Cook. What kind of last couple of minutes has this been for Todd Pratt? Between getting thrown out trying to cross on a ground ball in front of him, then the collision with Olerud where he gets cut, and now he takes the first pitch delivered to John Wehner and gets a spell run. You take the bumps and bruises when you don't get that many chances to start.
Yeah.
One 1-0 on Wehner, batting for Abraham Nunez with 2 outs in the 8th. Fouled away, 1-1.
Wehner was called up a number of years ago by the Pirates. Grew up in the Pittsburgh area, and Jim Leland was high on him. High enough where he ended up, I believe, playing a little bit for Leland when he was manager of the Marlins, now back in Pittsburgh with the Pirates.
He was playing at Nashville. The Pirates purchased his contract 3 weeks ago. Fly ball well hit left field. Agbayani to the wall. It's gone. Dennis Cook gives up a pinch hit homer to John Wehner, and the Pirates have tied it at 2.
Wehner's first home run, he was batting .53 prior to the home run. And when you're a catcher, most of the time, when a hitter makes contact, you have a good idea if it's going over the wall. Watch Todd Pratt's reaction. He knew it was gone. As soon as it was hit.
Well, we mentioned as effective as Cook has been this year, the home run ball has been really his only problem. And it bites them again.
And unfortunately, Kenny Rogers will not be allowed to get his first victory as a Met.
hard stick by Olerud. And the side retires. But the Pirates get even on the pinch hit home run by John Wehner off of Dennis Cook. So we'll go to the last of the 8th. And suddenly, after the Mets had led since the first inning, this one ties it up.
TV guy here with some summer tips. Lose 5 pounds, use sunblock, and get to your Toyota dealer pronto. You won't find a better time to get it all with a low $199 a month lease on Tacoma. Nobody builds a more powerful compact V6, by the way. Hey, more horsepower, more truck, less moolah? Who says you can't have it all? So get to your Toyota dealer now. Ooh, just do it without kicking sand on me, please.
When the male is in pursuit of the female, the slightest scent of unpleasantness may send the female running. Thus, I recommend Right Guard Clear Gel or Clear Stick. Powerful protection from ferocious odor and wetness that glides on clear with no flaky white stuff.
How far's the female?
A good 70 yards, mate. I've made longer passes than that before. Right Guard, Clear Gel, and Clear Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized. Here.
Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
Put to the test, America's most trusted lives up to its name. Die Hard.
Are you ready for some salsa?
Friday, August 6th is Hispanic Night. Be here as the Mets take on Todd Hundley and the Los Angeles Dodgers in their only series at Shea this season. Then stay for the post-game salsa concert as Budweiser presents Victor Manuel. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX. That's 718-507-TIXX.
Well, in the top of the 8th inning, there was a ball hit between home plate and first base. And watch Todd Pratt go all the way down in pursuit of this ball. And he had a beat on it. Guess he didn't hear John Olerud, and bang, a collision. So what do you do when the inning's over? You talk about it. Todd Pratt, because he's a little shorter than John Olerud, when John caught the ball, he brought the glove down and hit Todd right square in the face with the glove. Todd's saying, you know what, I thought I had it all the way. And John Olerud said, my territory. Bobby Valentine involved in the conversation, at least listening to the conversation. And the Mets and the Pirates now are tied up. Alfonso will lead it off for the Mets here in the bottom of the 8th.
Alfonso to be followed by Olerud and Ventura. Mark Wilkins takes over the pitching for the Pirates and throws a strike to Fonzie. Eduardo's first inning home run gave the Mets a quick 1-0 lead. Ventura doubled that 2 batters later. And the Mets held that lead until the top of this inning when Wehner hit the pinch homer off of Cook. And quickly 0-2 on Alfonso.
Todd Ritchie has pitched a good ball game today. As you look at our British Airways 2-hit games, National League leaders. Alfonso with 42. How about Casey with 44?
Line to center. In comes Giles. He's got to play it on a hop.
Now 43 multi-hit games for Alfonso. And let's go back to earlier in the ball game for our Dodge drive of the game. Earlier, we're going back to the first inning, and Alfonso hitting Todd Ritchie over the left field wall. That's our Dodge drive of the game. And Alfonso continues to hit the ball hard. He's on first base with nobody out, and a pitching change for Gene Lamont Pirates.
So the Mets put the go-ahead run aboard with nobody out here in the 8th inning. Gene Lamont will go to his bullpen, get a left-hander with John Olerud coming up. Jason Christensen comes in. We'll be back.
So, what are you going to do tonight?
It's the biggest day of the year, Hambletonian Day, Saturday, August 7th. Get in on all the family fun in Paddock Park and catch the nation's best 3-year-olds in the $1 million Hambletonian.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Top the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Foxwoods. Foxwoods.
We brought you the most innovative minivan in history, revolutionary cab-forward design, and the first pickup with 4 doors. Now, here's what's new for the new Dodge, the Dodge Summer Clearance, with exceptionally low lease rates, generous cash allowances on select models, not to mention extremely low financing. What's new from the new Dodge? Just catch the Dodge Summer Clearance.
Well, Kenny Rogers made his Mets debut, and although he won't qualify for a decision, it certainly was a good one. He had the Pirates hitting the ball on the ground all through the 6 innings that he worked. And he had offensive support early on as Alfonso and then Ventura launched first-inning home runs to give Rogers an early 2-0 lead. This is our Tri-State Consumer Auto Insurance game summary.
And unfortunately, Kenny Rogers had to leave that ball game after 6 innings and allowing only 1 hit. He had all of his pitches working today. He had great location with his fastball, and he had a sharp, breaking, impressive curveball today.
So let's see what happens here. Now, John Olerud not often is called on to bunt. He's your 3-hitter, and he's not bunting here, at least not on the first pitch as he fouls it back. Remember, though, with a left-hander on the mound now on Christensen, Olerud has been struggling lately with his average dipping down behind or below 300. I wonder whether or not with a tie game in the 8th inning, the Mets might be thinking about just trying to push the go-ahead run into scoring position.
But in order to win a division, you're going to need John Olerud swinging the bat. I'm sure the opportunity here, Bobby Valentine thinking maybe bunt, but you got to allow John Olerud to swing the bat. He's your number 3 hitter.
Yeah, 2 factors against the bunt. Number 1, Olerud just that, your 3-hole hitter, and when he's on, he's a good one. And again, philosophically, Bobby Valentine hates more than most managers to give up and out, even in this situation.
Plus, even if he's in a slump, I mean, he might get a pitch and come out of the slump with a home run.
So quickly, Christensen ahead of him 0-2, and now a check at first of Alfonso.
Plus, the big thing in a slump is you're losing your confidence. You're not sure of yourself at the plate, and all of a sudden you see the bunt sign for the first time in an awful long time, and now some more of your confidence is taken away.
Nobody out. We're in the 8th. 2-2 the score. Nice stop by Oliver. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes now on John Olerud.
Well, Joe Oliver, known as a defensive catcher late in his career, and he goes out and scoops it. Taking a chance not getting your body completely in front of it, but with that first baseman-like glove, you can take some liberties and try and scoop the ball. And Oliver did it and did it well.
1-2 to Olerud. And Oliver can't hold the foul tip. So John has life.
And you don't see John fooled that often, even by left-handers, but he had a bad swing, but was able to stay alive. See if he's able to get a pitch that he can drive right now with the 1-2 count.
Christensen ahead. Alfonso leads from first. Up the middle, nice stop, and then it dribbles off the glove of Morris. And Alfonso will hang on at second base.
Well, that's a borderline. Do you give him a hit? If he gets hit, it could be a base hit that would get him out of a slump.
Now, Morris got to the ball. It looked like he was going to make the play.
Well, he went down on his knees for one thing. And he should have caught that ball. Cookie Rojas waving Alfonso Alfonso wanted to come over to third base, but Alfonso had the ball in front of him. So he has to make his own decision. And they would have gotten him at third base by a lot, but it scored a base hit. So couldn't help John Olerud relax at the plate.
Robin Ventura, the batter. Dribbles one foul. Boy, Cookie must be the riverboat gambler of all time in that situation, because with nobody out in the tie game in the 8th inning, the play I would think would be to do exactly what Alfonso did, and that's play it conservatively.
And Alfonso had the ball in front of him. You cannot rely on a coach when the ball's in front of you.
So now Ventura with 2 on and nobody out. Behind in the count, 0-1. Pirates looking for 2 on the infield. Christensen deals. Nothing in 2. So Christensen getting his breaking ball, his slider over. And just as he was ahead of John Olerud, no balls and 2 strikes. Now he's 0-2 to Ventura. Remember, lurking in the Mets dugout is Mike Piazza. The pitcher's spot due up after the next batter, Benny Agbayani. And the 0-2 to Ventura, popped up and playable on the infield. They invoke the infield fly. The batter automatically out, whether or not Young were to have made that catch. So the runner is hauled up. That's 1 out. So Ventura unable to move the runners along at the very least. And now it'll be Agbayani. Benny 0 for 3 today. And the pitcher due up next. Matt Franco is coming out on deck. That could be a clever ruse. Agbayani drives one to the gap in right center field. This one will go over the wall on one hop for a ground rule double. The Mets are leading by a score of 3-2 as Agbayani delivers.
Exciting the crowd here at Shea Stadium, driving that ball in the gap in right center field. Agbayani going out and getting that ball that was over the heart of the plate and bouncing the ball over the right center field fence, and the Benny chant goes up here at Shea. Agbayani driving in the go-ahead run.
So Benny, who was hitless last night and hitless this afternoon, comes through again. Every time it looks like he's tailing off a bit, he picks it right back up with a big hit. And now it's Ricky Henderson. This is what we meant by the clever ruse, with Matt Franco having gone out on deck to pinch hit. Now the Pirates have a left-hander, Jason Christensen, on the mound. Franco's a left-hand pitcher, and the Pirates did not have a right-hander throwing in the bullpen. So Bobby Valentine didn't want to show his cards, whether it would be Piazza or Henderson, and give Gene Lamont an opportunity to get a right-hander warm. So now he's got a matchup he wants. Isn't that what managing's all about, getting your matchups?
And they're going to walk Ricky Henderson to go after Todd Pratt. So the wheels are turning. Gene Lamont and Bobby Valentine. Intense managing late in the ball game. And Todd Pratt has a hit in this game.
Now, over the last minute, Greg Hansel has gotten up, the right-hander, to start throwing in the bullpen. Question is now, is Hansel ready with Todd Pratt coming up?
And it's a pretty good break getting Ricky Henderson on first base. A ground ball, they're going to have to hustle to throw to second base in order to turn 2. But they have a force at every base.
So Todd Pratt will get to take his hats against the left-handed. Mets now trying for some insurance. They've got Olerud on at third. Agbayani, who delivered the go-ahead run at second. And Henderson on at first. Pirates deep in the infield, hoping to turn 2 on something on the ground. And Pratt, did he go around? No, he did not, says first base ump. Randy Marsh, the crew chief. Well, he held the swing, but he lost the shades. So the Mets get the run right back that the Pirates scored at the top of this inning on the Wainer pinch homer. Now they look for more. Hit hard, but foul. Had Olerud doing a little dance in foul territory.
Well, he wants to get him back.
From the Popeyes.
Right. The collision. I'm going to take one shot at Olerud before I get serious.
You weren't with us earlier on a pop to the first base side in foul territory. Pratt and Olerud collided. Olerud held the ball. 1-1 to Pratt. Inside, he got hit. That's an RBI the hard way.
Right. Doesn't hurt when you get an RBI. So the big left-hander hitting Todd Pratt with a good fastball. And once again, Pratt gets hurt. He gets hit. Olerud benefits.
What a day Todd Pratt's had. You catch every once in a while when Mike Piazza's on the club. And he's been beat up this afternoon. Beaten up, to be grammatically correct. Piazza knows all about those kinds of days. And for Jason Christensen, not one of his better days.
Yeah, Christensen throwing that fastball inside on Todd Pratt, taking a chance with the bases loaded, and he drills him. Pratt diving in and couldn't get out of the way. Hit him right in the belly. That's when those sit-ups are very important.
Oh, or the cheeseburger. I mean, you eat enough of them, you don't feel them, but Pratt's in good shape. So it's the belly crunches, the sit-ups paid off for him there rather than the high-protein diet. Out-of-shape player, get enough in that midsection to absorb shots like that.
And Hank Baiani, who's in shape, down on third base. And the Mets have a 2-run lead. Hit by a pitch, giving the Mets a 2-run cushion.
So now they've got the right-hander Greg Hansel in the game.
Hansel coming in to pitch to Ray Ordonez with the bases loaded with Mets. And the Mets have a 2-run lead. Mets now with 7 hits. The Pirates with only 3.
Well, the Mets will be back on Monday night as Alfonso and the Mets face Marquise Grissom of the Brewers. First pitch set for 8 o'clock. And then on Tuesday, those teams do it again. Mets and Brewers in Milwaukee right here on Fox Sports Net New York. That's also an 8 o'clock start. So plenty of Mets action coming your way. Make sure to check your local listings. So the sit-ups pay off. A mere bag of shells. As Pratt takes one right in the belly.
The sit-ups.
You started it.
Yeah, well, Pratt, you mentioned in very good shape. In order to get in good shape, you have to work out. You work out with the weights. You do the sit-ups. You do a lot of sit-ups, right?
I watch. Actually, the guy who supervises, who deserves credit for the Mets' fitness and conditioning, is Barry Hayden, who puts in long hours.
Oh, yeah. A lot of time before the game, after the game. Oh, it's up to Ray Ordonez now. He can really add to this cushion.
4-2 New York. The bases are loaded. The Pirates are even at the corners, back at short and second. And Ordonez drives it foul, 0-1. Ray a base hit and 3 trips. So set it up. Agbayani at third, Henderson at second, and Pratt at first, with the Mets leading 4-2 and trying for more. Mondo Benitez has had plenty of time to get loose of the bullpen. And the Mets trying to give him a nice soft cushion. Outfield shades Ordonez the other way in pronounced fashion. Brian Giles well into right center and shallow, and they pitch out. They can squeeze.
Well, it's not a bad situation here. I'll tell you, if Ordonez could butt the ball to Ed Sprague at third base, put the runners in motion, late motion, where they don't pick it up, you get Agbayani, who would score on a bunted ball. Henderson with good speed on second. Sprague's going to throw the first. Henderson could come around the score. You could pick up 2 runs on a bunted ball to Ed Sprague.
The 1-1 to Ordonez. Full swing, 1-2. One thing about the squeeze, used to be a pretty good percentage play to pitch out in squeeze situations. Bobby Valentine employed that play much more often over his first couple of years with the Mets than he has lately. I'd be hard-pressed to remember more than one or two this year. Used to be a play he used a lot.
Well, you got Ray Ordonez at the plate. Again, if he bunted that ball and he got Sprague charging, you'd score 2 runs.
In the dirt, 2-2 to Ordonez.
Especially if it goes to 3-2. Because 3-2, you got to throw a strike. So if a guy turns the bunt, you can't throw the ball off the plate. The bases are loaded.
Didn't Don Zimmer do that with the Cubs against the Mets here at Shea? Bases loaded, 3-2 squeeze play.
Yes.
I'm almost positive the year the Cubs won the division in '89, Zimmer pulled that play here. Hit hard, off the glove of Morris. Agbayani scores. Henderson around third. He's going to try it. The throw to the plate, not in time. 2 runs scored, and it's 6-2 New York. And for the Pirates, this inning has been all about a couple of balls that Warren Morris almost got to.
Well, the first one really he should have made the play on. And this ball here is hit hard by Ray Ordonez, and it gets past Morris into right field. Morris thought he caught it, or at least knocked it down. Pratt thought he was going to catch it. There's the throw to the plate. Henderson scores, but Todd Pratt was on the infield grass starting back to first base. See, Pratt now he has to get off the infield grass and go to second. Henderson coming around to score without the slide, and you could see Oliver going with the sweet tag looking for the slide. But Henderson just kept on running and didn't hit the dirt.
So it's a 4-run inning for New York as Henderson comes around to score along with Agbayani. Fouled away by Melvin Mora, 1-1.
It was funny to watch Todd Pratt because he thought the ball Ordonez hit was caught by Morris on the line. So Todd had turned around and he was on the infield grass heading back to first. Then he had to move around and go to second.
So Pratt at second with Ordonez at first. Ooh, fastball inside almost hit him, 2-1. 2-hit game now for Ray Ordonez. So now that the Mets have a 4-run cushion, Armando Benitez may very well not factor in when we go to the 9th inning. He had been throwing low, 3-1 to Melvin Mora. But once Ordonez got that base hit, Benitez started to relax, and now Pat Mahomes is loosening up. And it may well be that Mahomes pitches tonight. 3-1 to Mora, the 8th man to bat here in the 8th inning for New York. And the count full now, 3-2. Mark Wilkins started this inning in relief of Todd Ritchie. Christensen and now Hansel. The runners go. It's fouled away. Pratt still at second. Ordonez at first. Bobby Valentine hoping to take this series and head to Chicago with 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. The runners go on 3-2, and the pitch is low, so the bases are loaded. And now Pete Vukovich is going to come out and try and settle Hansel down. Mets now have out-hit the Pirates 8-3. Roger Cedeno will be the next batter. So the Mets will have batted around here in the 8th inning. The Mets coming right back to pick up Dennis Cook. Told you how solid Cook has been all season. The only bugaboo, the home run ball, which came back to bite him in the top of this inning. But right now he's in position to qualify for the win. Certainly a quirky statistic, given that Dennis pitched just 1 inning, gave up the tying run, but Dennis now with an opportunity to win his 9th game of the year. Bases loaded. Cedeno loops one to right. That's a base hit. Pratt scores. Around third, Ordonez. The throw to the plate. The slide, and Ordonez is out. Cedeno hustles down to second base. So the Mets pick up 1 on the single by Cedeno. It's now 7-2. 2 men are out.
I think Ray Ordonez felt he was safe, but it's not his personality to argue with an umpire. It was a good, strong throw to get him at home plate if, in fact, Oliver applied the tag.